Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Legacies here, and it's Wednesday. We're doing a Wow Wednesday, and we're wowing because Scotty Barnes is returning to Utah to play in the Powder League Pro-Am. Utah has a Powder League Pro-Am that's been running for about 5 years or so. Scotty went there a couple years ago after his rookie season and competed against Kyle Kuzma. They had a crazy-ass matchup where both of them were kind of the best player on the other side. Went back and forth. Scott had some crazy triple double, but Kuzma in the end, his team won, and he was the more dominant scorer in the situation. But Scotty's going back to Powder League to be on Team MOGBO. Yeah, Team MOGBO is led by Jonathan MOGBO's brother Zach, who plays in Utah Valley College. That's the connection to Utah. Is that Zach MOGBO has been playing college ball there for a few years, and he's known in the state of Utah. So he wants to get Scotty and his younger brother to come and play on Team MOGBO. And well, they have had one game so far. I don't even know if they won or not. Their website is not very good, Powder League. They could be doing a way better job of putting their information out, but it doesn't matter either way. But that team is playing another game on Friday, this Friday coming up, and then the game on Wednesday. I am not totally sure which game Scotty will be playing in. I think it will be the one next Wednesday. It says that he's going to be playing in the finals. Of course, he's not going to be there the whole time for this whole entire summer league. They played their first game, and Scotty wasn't there to play in it. He's going to play in the final game for Team MOGBO, and that'll be next week. And I don't know if Jonathan's the same or if he's down there doing it, playing with his brother already. I have no idea. There's not really any other names in this whole thing that are noteworthy. It's weird because like I said, Kuzma was there before with his connection with the Utah Utes, being at Powder League. But I looked at all the rosters and there's nobody I recognize their name otherwise. So it's like Scotty is the key, most important NBA player of any kind of stature in this pro-am. So it's weird. It's weird. I would like him to get some better competition, but it's just good that he's playing. This has always been his philosophy. Scotty loves to play basketball. If he could go and play pickup with people down the street, he would. But there's legalities and worries for any kind of thing as far as insurance. So he does go and play with people though. Like we've seen him in clips shooting in the back of a warehouse at a place before. We've seen him, messing around under the Brooklyn Bridge, playing a pickup game one summer too. So he will pick the ball up. He loves his LA fitness. And he will go and play ball in different places that are fun. Of course, he was just in China playing basketball there. Yeah, and his camp, of course, recently in Mississauga is a place where he was seen playing basketball also in the offseason. But yeah, Powder League this week coming up. Scotty is going to be there playing. I don't know. We'll get clips probably. We'll probably get the highlights. I don't know if you'll be able to watch it live anywhere. But yeah, Scotty Barnes, Jonathan MOGBO, Zach MOGBO, and the rest of the team. Yeah, I can name the guys on the team for you real quick. This is the list. We got Yannick Olaga, Giorgio Golesis, Tristan Stevens, Alric Greenhalgh, Keba Keita, AJ Bergen, Austin Young, Nigel Burris, Duncan Reed, Gerard Davis, and Stephen Briggs. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys. And when I went to looked at the other teams, I didn't know any of them either. Maybe if you're in Utah and you're into basketball, you know who some of these guys are, but not me. I don't know who they are. All right, so there's my little spiel on Powder League. Wow, Scotty's going to play on Team MOGBO with Zach and Jonathan. Perfect stuff. Yeah, Zach MOGBO is the older brother of Jonathan. He's 25 years old, and he's played for a small college in Utah Valley for his college career. So he's not going to the NBA, but he seems like a tall guy. But who knows? Who knows? We'll have to see. All right, Nako's first in this morning for our chat. And he has a very weird comment that I'm going to completely destroy right now. I am going to completely destroy this comment, Gerald. This is a crazy comment. He's saying, I have a sneaking suspicion Sasha is this year's Goran. Gerald, sometimes you show that you just not have been watching the Raptors for very long. And this is one of those cases. You've got to understand, Goran Dragic is a very singular, specific case that probably will never be duplicated in this way. Gerald, you have to understand, Goran was an enemy to the Raptors for 10 years, and then he got traded to our team for Kyle Lowry. And it was one of the weirdest things in the world. It was awkward as fuck because everybody in Raptors Nation already hated Goran Dragic for a long, long time. And Goran hated the Raptors. That's the weird ass shit. Now, Sasha Vezenkov has nothing to do with the Raptors. Either way, he has never really played us hardly. There's no grudge. Goran did dirty shit to Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs when he played for the Heat over the last 10 years. Him and Kelly Olynyk did it. Kelly was one of them dirty players too for Miami that did dirty ass hits. So Raptors fans have always hated Goran Dragic. We hated him before he showed up. And when he showed up and he did what he did, we hated him then. So, yes, Sasha Vezenkov, you can only say, okay, these guys are comparable because they're both from Eastern Europe. That's the only comparison between these two guys. Also, Goran, when he showed up to our team, he was already almost out of the league. He was retired very soon. And in some ways, when he showed up in Toronto, he saw the clock ticking. He heard it. And he's like, I don't have much time. And he's like, I have higher aspirations because I know I'm old as fuck and I'm not going to be in this league very long because I am not going to be very good soon. So his clock was ticking. That's why he freaked out and he wanted to leave the Raptors all of a sudden because he knew he wasn't going to be very good soon and he wasn't going to be in the NBA anymore. And now he's not in the NBA. Now, the another thing is Sasha Vezenkov is a true professional. Goran Dragic is kind of a little bitch. Let's just put it that way. Sasha Vezenkov has been seen in the last month at a conference in Europe on a panel of distinguished basketball guests, which included our coach, Darko Rajakovic. They sat across from each other at the panel before he even got traded to our team. So he's a professional. And not only that, he's a EuroLeague champion, an MVP, and a scoring champion over there. Goran Dragic is a little bitch who never won an NBA title. So the comparison between these two guys, you can say, yeah, they're white guys from Europe. That's it. They got nothing to do with each other. You think Sasha's going to come in and pull a Dragic? You think he's going to come in and say, hey, guys, I have higher aspirations. I want to leave. No, he's not. He's not want to do that because I told y'all on the stream in the last week, Sasha Vezenkov is not going back to Greece because he wants to try and make it in the NBA. He said 1 year for the Sacramento Kings last year, didn't get played hardly at all. Darko talked to him on Bet, and he is like, yeah, I'm going to use you because I need you on our team. So don't expect this, Gerald. It's a weird comment that you made, and I can destroy it just like that because you don't understand how specifically the hate is for Goran Dragic. You just do not understand that, Gerald. And you'd have to go back to 2014, 2015 to understand the story and why this built up to where it went to with Dragic. So, no, Sasha Vezenkov is 28 years old. He's nowhere near the end of his career. He has many, many years. The clock is not ticking in the back of his head where he's worried about what he's got to do. He's coming here. He's already achieved. He's a champion. Goran was never a champion. He's already achieved. He's just trying to make the NBA. So if his team's the Raptors, why would he leave in the middle of the season if he's trying to make the NBA? Sorry, Joe. I love you, man. But that comment is really ridiculous, honestly. And why would you expect that for the Raptors? Why would you want that for the Raptors? Another player leaving us high and dry and acting like Goran Dragic. Seriously, that's loser thought. We can't think that way. There's nobody coming here. We don't want people here that don't want to be here. And people are coming here, they want to be here, all right? Just so you know. Trevor's here. Good morning, Raptors family. The difference between school and life, in school, you're taught a lesson and then given a test. In life, you're given a test that teachers give you a lesson, that teaches you a lesson. Okay, yeah. You know what? School's full of shit. I'm going to say this right now. If you can learn on your own, you can now. You got the internet, you got YouTube, you got all other resources where you can go and learn. School is basically to train you to be obedient at this point. In some ways, schools are built by the same people that build prisons. They're just pre-prisons for people later on. So honestly, the school system's full of shit in some ways. They just want you to conform to society and teach you to be a good citizen. It's more about being obedient than actually learning things in the school system, just so you know. So I would say go learn on your own. Why do you need to even go there and have a teacher tell you to respect them and do all this kind of stuff? Go and get on the internet. And this is an age of free information where people can just go get stuff and learn on their own. In some ways, I respect people that homeschool their kids at this point Not because I'm like anti-trans or any kind of thing and thinking that teachers have an agenda. No, it's because in some ways I feel like they may learn more from me teaching them than actually going to school. It's kind of a weird thing because in some ways school is a waste of time because they just want to condition you to obey. That's what I say. All right. Thank you for your words of wisdom, Trevor. A little bit of a tangent on that. Trevor saying Fred VanVleet working out in Vegas at Jason Tatum's camp. He had a nice little post yesterday about going to the Chris Paul camp 10 years ago when Fred was nobody, not even in the league yet. He was still a guy over at Wichita State and just kind of getting his college career. And he was there with Chris Paul and he learned some stuff. And Isaiah Thomas, the newer Isaiah Thomas, not our president or Raptors president, Isaiah Thomas at the beginning, met him there. And they had a nice little reunion recently. Chris Paul, Isaiah Thomas, and Fred VanVleet. And, you know, in the picture, you can tell Fred is an accomplished guy now. And in some ways, if you think about where he was 10 years ago, working out with those guys and where he is now, man, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, they've had new numbers come out for our new Raptors showing up, and I'm not happy or pleased with seeing Jamal Shed wants to wear 23. I know in some ways that number is more important than just Fred. It's Michael's number, and it is kind of important. But in some ways, I was going to say, if we're going to retire that number, we could retire it for Fred because in some ways he deserves to get his number retired by the Raptors. He really does. He's one of the most successful stories in the NBA ever. Seriously, he's one of the most successful stories in the NBA ever as far as being undrafted, being who he is, and achieving what he has. So I'm not totally happy with Shed taking 23, to be honest, guys. Let's see. Trevor's saying Lakers and LeBron have agreed to a 2-year deal, $104 million for 2 years. Yeah, apparently they didn't get the numbers right, though, because it puts them $1 million over the second apron and really fucks them up. Why are you so dumb, Lakers? It's like they got to redo the deal all of a sudden again and take $1 million off of it so that they don't get all these restrictions on them. The deal has a no trade clause, and it also has a player option for LeBron next year. So yeah, everything's so rosy and happy in LA. It's so stupid. They come out and they do a press conference with Bronny, and Rob Pelinka says Bronny earned this. Bullshit. This world is so full of shit at this point. Y'all can't lie to us and say that Bronny deserved getting drafted in his spot on the Lakers and getting generational wealth and like millions of dollars. Why the fuck does he need that? Seriously, his dad is LeBron. Does he really need to be in there? I'm going to say this right now. Bronny James needs to be in the league for like 3 years, and that's it. That motherfucker needs to get bounced out of this league, exposed, and shown exactly for who he is, and fucking out of the league, like really, really in a couple years. Seriously. People that think Bronny's going to play in the league for like 10 years, y'all are fucking crazy. That dude's going to get exposed. He's going to be fucking not good enough, and they're going to be like, nobody wants him. The Lakers may eat his contract for a while, keep him on their team for a while just to please LeBron. But it'll be a waste of a spot, a waste of the money, and a waste of the damn time. And that's what I have to say about Bronny James right there. But yeah, LeBron, $50 million a year. Yeah, he would have cut his contract to 30 if Klay had came. And Klay Thompson pissed off his dad. Michael Thompson is a Lakers champion of the Showtime era. The backup center for the Showtime Magic Lakers is very unhappy with his son choosing the Dallas Mavericks over the Lakers. He had the choice. And his dad was politicking, saying, you need to go to the Lakers, son. Come to the Lakers, just like me. There's a legacy there. Man, he must not listen to his dad or something. Maybe Klay Thompson's just an idiot. It's like in some ways, listen to your dad. Your dad has good advice, Michael Thompson does. And Klay Thompson, why would you disregard your father's advice? Your dad's like, I'm not pleased with this, but I have to accept it. This is Klay's decision. He's a grown man. Yeah, he's an idiot. Let's just put it that way. In some ways, he should have gone there. But he didn't. I would have made his dad happy, and there would have been a Laker legacy thing. But no, he didn't want to give that to the Lakers, apparently. He'd rather go to the Mavericks, and he's probably going to finish out his career there, and he's not going to win anything there. He's not going to help the Mavericks enough for what they did in the finals. Klay's probably looking at it as like, the Lakers barely get in the playoffs, and they get put out right away. But the Mavericks went to the finals, so they must be good. Bullshit. The Mavs got lucky this year. making it to the finals. And Klay Thompson, if you think in your fucking ego in your head that you're the added piece that's going to get them over the top from where they went this year, they're not going to the finals next year. They were lucky as hell that they got the finals this year, the Mavericks. They shouldn't have even been in the finals. Another team would have done a better job playing the Celtics. So, yeah, you go ahead, Klay, and in your mind, think you're the added piece that's going to put them over the top. Bullshit. That's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right. I'm feisty. I'm feisty today. Why not? Let's go. All right, let's see. Trevor J saying that last night the Las Vegas Aces broke attendance records, 20,000 people, and Angel Reese 11 double-doubles in a row. Yeah, very cool stuff going on in the WNBA. There's an all-star game coming up where they're going to actually have the all-star team of the WNBA play against the USA women's team. Wow. And that's all WNBA versus WNBA. But that's a fantastic idea. In some ways, you know, some of the ladies that play for other countries don't have as many chances to be in this game because obviously all Americans on one side. But I saw the rosters and they're jam-packed with talent, and it should be a very exciting, entertaining game. The WNBA All-Stars versus Team USA. That's a fantastic idea. And, well, the Aces are going into a bigger arena. They're going to be able to get more people in there. And, well, this is part of it. In some ways, they were playing Caitlin Clark, right, in this game, and she's an attraction. And so you got the Las Vegas Aces, two-time champions, against this rookie that's a hotshot that's getting all this buzz. Yeah, people going to come out. People going to come out. Congratulations, WNBA. Keep going. Yeah, Trevor J's got new players looking good in Raptors gear. That's right. The Raptors officially announcing yesterday the signings and the trades and all that stuff. You know, Bobby Webster and different people could not comment on this until now. Now that we see the graphics on Toronto Raptors official admin accounts with Jonathan MOGBO and Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shed and Sasha Vezenkov, Davion Mitchell. Yeah, they're now being shown. Now we got to see Comshay and a couple other guys still too get their graphics up too. But yeah, it's let's see who's your lineup there. You got Jonathan, you got Davion, you got Jacoby, you got IQ, you got Scotty, you got RJ, and you got Jakob. I like that lineup, Commissioner J. I like that lineup. That's pretty good. Mason's here. Good to see Mason Culligan, a great Raptor freak and a member of our channel. I appreciate you, Mason, your return. He's saying, hey, Lex, what do you think about Gary staying? You know, things have gone so crazy for Gary. It's such a weird year for Gary. Last summer, I wonder if he regrets taking his player option and staying with the Raptors. I don't know. In some ways, he may not make that kind of money again for right now. It's really weird. It's like all these other people are getting picked up and signed and traded and moved all around, but the interest in Gary is not good right now. I think his inconsistency in this last year, whether it was from plantar fasciitis or injuries on the down low, was really apparent to everybody around the league, and it really sunk his value. And now, because of the haves and have-nots of the new apron system of the salary cap, he's in this weird limbo in the middle where you're a mid-range player, but you know what? The mid-level players are not getting paid right anymore because the big balloon payments are at the top for the extension guys and the big superstars. And then you have guys who are just trying to make in the league, and they're getting paid something. And now guys that are kind of established in the league, like Gary Trent Jr., are going to make just a little bit more than the guys who are just trying to make it in the league. Wow. In some ways, Gary's price is dropping, Mason. And in some ways, the Raptors may really want to consider retaining him here. I have no problem with Gary. I like Gary. I want Gary to have a good thing happen for him this year. If it's on the Raptors, I won't be upset. But I don't want him getting in the way of some of our young players that I want to see more of, like Jacoby Walter. So it's tough. I feel so bad for him. Things are just changing in the league, and he just happens to be in a certain position in the hierarchy of the league that is not good for him. In some ways, I could see this happening possibly, Mason. He could be that guy who goes to the Lakers that they wanted Klay Thompson or some of these other names, and they didn't show up, and Gary is the guy they settle for, and he's playing with Bronny and LeBron, which would be so weird. But anyway, either way, I want good things for Gary. I like Gary, whether he's on the Raptors or not. Yeah, Mo's here. Good to see Superfan Mo back in the chat. Mo hasn't been feeling well, so she's missed some of our chats recently, but we're So happy to see her and be blessed with her presence this morning on the chat. She's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family crew. Go Scotty, go Team MOGBO. Davion Mitchell, Sasha Vezenkov, and Jamal are officially here. Yeah, it was great to see those jerseys and those announcements. It looks like we're going to see Davion Mitchell wearing number 45 as a player for the Raptors, which is a cool number for him. Of course, that was Delano Banton's old number, 45 bus. Vezenkov is not, we have not seen what his number will be yet. So, yeah, it's always interesting to see when the new players come in, what number they have. You know, Jacoby Walter wore number 4 at Baylor, but obviously he can't wear number 4 for the Raptors. We know who number 4 is on the Raptors right now. So he's wearing Muggsy Bogues' old 14. So Jacoby Walter wearing the 14 for this season coming up. And, of course, MOGBO is going to take the San Diego State number that's been held by Kawhi and Jalen McDaniels, number 2. Yeah, so it's great. We got the 1, 2, 3 punch of Grady Dick, Jonathan MOGBO, and Ochai Agbaji. Isn't he number 3 or something? I want to say, no, he's not number 3. Who's number 3? I got to remember who number 3 is. All right, number 4 is Scott, and number 5 is Quickly. Of course, yeah. Dana's here. Also, Mo's saying that they've announced officially the senior women's national team for Canada, which is stacked with WNBA players. We got all the main names of Canadian women that are playing in the league are on our team, like Kia Nurse and Natalie Achonwo. This is going to be a good team, and I really hope that the women's team for Canada competes at a high level in medals at Paris Olympics. It's going to be fantastic to have both the men's and the women's competing at Paris Olympics, the highest level of basketball in world competition. So that's another sign that we've arrived, that the women's team is going also. And man, is that team stacked. That team is stacked, yeah. And speaking of stacked, Jerry Stackhouse, returning to the NBA, announced yesterday, him and Terry Stotts, former Milwaukee Bucks and Portland Trailblazers coach, have been hired by Steve Kerr to replace some of the people that are leaving. You know, he's lost Jama in the last year back to us. Kenny Atkinson has left to go coach the Cleveland Cavaliers now. So he's been losing good coaches. So he's replenishing his coaching staff with Terry Stotts and Jerry Stackhouse, former Raptors 905 champion coach for the Raptors 905. We've wanted Jerry to come back here, but I was like, he's in Vanderbilt. He's happy there, but maybe he isn't, I guess, because he's going to go to the Warriors. Now, in some ways, I can see why he went back to the NBA and he wants to go to the Warriors. So Canadian Dana's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Dana. And she's got the logo, dunking it like Vince through the legs. There you go. That is our guy, the Raptor, putting it through the legs and dunking. I want to see the Raptor do this dunk for real off a trampoline at a Raptors game this season. Could we get a little kind of in-game ops show of the Raptor doing a show of Vince dunks? You got to practice these and doing them and homage. Do the Raptor jumping off the trampoline, doing all the Vince dunks, put his arm through it, all those great dunks. That'd be fantastic in our 30th season coming up. I want to see that. Yeah, Bryce is saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Good morning to Bryce Lawson, returning to us from the K-Tuck. Wondering how Bryce has been. Hope you've had a great weekend and getting ready for the 4th of July down there for you guys. Independence Day for the States tomorrow. Yeah, on the week that, it doesn't seem like y'all are very independent with your Supreme Court giving monarchy powers to the president. Yeah, there's a lot of screwed up stuff going on down there. And yeah, very much celebrate your independence down there because you may not have it very long. There may be a dictatorship coming in this fall, apparently, with all the crazy crap going on in American politics right now. It's really bad, honestly. Scary. It's very scary. Cowboy's here. Good to see Cowboy back today. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Is it true that our first Summer League game is on July 13th, 8:30 at OKC? If so, I can't wait. Let's go. Yes, it is true. That is true. 10 days. We get to see our Summer League team. Of course, I'll be leading up to it, letting you guys know who our roster is, kind of doing a scout on them, doing a little primer on the Summer League roster for the Raptors when it's announced. So be ready for that. And yes, July 13th, Summer League, baby. Let's go. Infamous is here. Salute, freaks. That's right. Good to see you, Infamous. Welcome back. Good to see you, my guy. Smooth is here. Good morning, all. Sixers and Warriors in talks for a sign and trade for Buddy Hield. Yeah, I saw that news this morning. That makes sense. In some ways, the Philadelphia 76ers have been kind of renewing their team. DeAnthony Melton also going to the Warriors now. And, Mo Bamba going to the Clippers. Nicholas Batum going to the Clippers. This is like 2 Sixers going to the Clippers, 2 Sixers going to the Warriors. And then they're coming in with Andre Drummond, Paul George, and who was the other person they just signed recently? In some ways, everybody's automatically saying that the Sixers are going to be the team that's going to try and combat the Celtics and the Eastern Conference next season. I don't believe that. Once again, Paul George does not give you a bump in winning. I don't understand why people think that. Seriously, Paul George does not give you a bump in winning. I'll say that over and over again. And I'm just waiting for him and Nick to have a disagreement because Paul is not playing the way that Nick wants him to. I mean, I could see this, seriously. If Nick Nurse is going to have a problem with Chris Boucher, the way he plays defense sometimes, Gary Trent Jr. sometimes, he's going to have a problem with Paul George at some point. This is a official Raptor Freak prediction for the season coming up. Watch. There's going to be a problem at some point because Paul George is just not doing what Nick likes on the defensive end. I'm going to tell you that right now. Buddy Hield in Golden State, well, it's a good retooling for them. Losing Clay, now they got Buddy Hield and they got DeAnthony Melton. All right, David's here. Dap to David. Our commissioner trivia is here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the classic card commissioned by Trevor J., the commissioner of fun, and adjudicated by the commissioner of trivia, David Saborin. So, yeah, let's get the card out. And you guys know the rules. David's comment is at 9:31. So let's see. Don't half-ass me. Oh, I actually own this card in my collection of cards. So I recognize this card right away, and I love it. This is cool. All right, this is a toughie. This is a little bit toughie. Let's see what happens here. All right, who is that, guys? Does anybody know who that is? This is a classic Hoops card from that very famous set of Hoops cards, the first set of cards. Why is my hand doing such weird stuff? Stop doing that. Can anybody tell me who that is? And don't half-ass me. That's right. This guy has a pretty cool nickname. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you're going to have to tell me. Tell me who that is. Classic card of the day. Somebody's got to get it. Let's get the points, guys. If you take longer, maybe that means more points. All right, let's see. Smooth is in there, and so is Tom. And they're both correct. It is Daryl Griffith. Dr. Duncanstein on his old NBA Hoops card, Louisville, Kentucky. From Louisville, Bryce Lawson country down there. Yeah, this guy was something else. I'm telling you, because there's it on the back. Dr. Duncanstein is the Jazz all-time leader in games played and 3-point field goals made. That's not accurate anymore. This guy was a 1981 NBA Rookie of the Year, guys. So that's serious. This guy was a Rookie of the Year. So it's not like this is a chump. This is a good player, Daryl Griffin. All right, Tommy's saying that his computer says he's first. I say, all right, first of all, who spelled it correctly? You both spelled it correctly, it looks like. Actually, Tommy, you're a little weird with the F's there. I don't know. David is the judge. I don't get to choose this. If David sees you first, Tom, I see Smooth on my computer first. Yeah. Okay. David's being nice, guys. He's going to go ahead and give 100 to Smooth and 50 for Tom because to me, it looked like both comments were made nearly the same time. Yeah, there you go. No, Tommy, you're going to get 50 points. Tommy's officially on the Raptor Freak Trivia point standing for this season now off the Dr. Duncanstein card. So, yeah, I have no problem with David being very generous with points and giving them to two different people. He's right. You guys did it at the same exact second. So I have no problem with how David's adjudicating this. So there's the official score. David's giving 100 to Smooth and 50 to Tom. Very, very good. I like it. All right, let's see. We are on Brian. It's King's back. To the point is back. What's up, Freak Nation? Dap to you, Brian. I hope you're doing good this morning. It is a Wednesday in July in Canada, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Cowboys saying firecrackers, explosions, bullseye, 8-ball, video game, dice. Yeah. All right, Cowboy. I think I understand what you're saying. And y'all, if you need to get some stuff done and you need some help, they're working in your area. It's Tada Cleaning Services, 647-833-6844. He will do your windows. He will do the duct cleaning. You know, they're always calling you about the duct cleaning. That's a scam. They won't duct clean you. No, but Cowboy will come and duct clean you. So, yeah, 647-833-6844. Ta-da! That's right. Ta-da. Cool Cats here. Good to see the coach. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Welcome to the new generation of Raptors on the journey to the next chip. Yeah, isn't it fun? It's like we're embarking on a new journey. It's just like we left the Hobbit house with Frodo and all Samwise and shit, and we're on our way to go somewhere really far. That's what it is. We're on a journey, and we've got our new traveling group. And yeah, I'm excited about it too, Cool Cat. I see some real good prospects. And the thing that I know that you enjoy and like, just like I do, is that we've got bigs as prospects. We actually have some prospects that are large men that actually can play center. And that is, oh my gosh, this has been the offseason I've been waiting for to get somebody like Comshay and something like that. I mean, Koloko was that guy before, but boy, that, and once again, we're seeing Koloko working out on Instagram, and I'm wondering what the hell kind of crazy ass things going to happen with Christian Koloko. I hope that he can play for the Raptors still. I really, really do. Smooth saying, I'm kind of hoping for Sasha V to be waived, freeing up money. He really does want to go back to Europe. That's not what I've heard. Seriously. That is not what I've heard, Smooth. Once again, there's a lot of bullshit out there from the Greek league fans that want him to come back. And that is not what I've heard. Once again, I'll go by Michael Grange and what he said, because he's talking to the front office of the Raptors, and they have told him he is in their plans. They're not going to waive him. They want to have him as part of our rotation for the season with Darko. In some ways, it makes sense. In some ways, to have a Euro player on our team with Darko playing, in some ways, he would fit our system really well. I understand you want to do this for money, but don't count out that Sasha Vezenkov could be a very good rotation player for us in certain ways. I looked at what way he plays, and to me, he's like a Joe Ingles kind of type of player. And those players are useful in this league. So you know what? I have not heard that he wants to go back himself. I've heard a lot of Greek fans putting out bullshit, lying that he wants to. And meanwhile, he's talked to them. Why would they show him on the admin stuff like yesterday and show that he is probably coming here? And that's what they said to Grange. Grange has been told by our franchise that we have him in the plans and we're not trying to waive him. So just so you know, Tom Duke saying, good morning, all. So very excited for the new guys. Sasha Vezenkov conflicting reports only show how ignorant media fans are. I bet our front office know what they are doing with them. It's not even, listen, it's the Greek fans. You guys got to understand. There's basketball fans over there that really try and politic and get things to happen the way they want to by putting out bullshit to try and make it come true. It's very much like the Lakers nation. We got to think about how Lakers nation acts. Like, oh, this person's going to be our coach. This person's our coach, even though it's complete trash. So this is what's going on, y'all. Just so y'all know, there's a very rabid fan base over in Greece, a team that he used to play for that they love very much, him, and they are just trying to get the information war out there to make people think this. If you went and asked Sasha himself, he'd be telling you, I want to continue to try and capture my NBA dream. And that the first season in Sacramento didn't go exactly how I wanted to. And I'm hoping I'll get a better chance in Toronto. I'm really positive that this is where he's at. Now, if he's in some other weird place, y'all are hearing something I'm not hearing. I mean, let me go look. Gerald, with his first comment, is making me feel like this is why he said this, is because he's seeing some other bullshit that listen, once again, I don't like Grange. I think Grange is full of shit sometimes. But when Grange says something like this, in some ways, I listen to him because he has the mouth of the franchise in his ear, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't see any news on here saying anything about Vezenkov saying whether he's going to leave or not. In fact, there's a news here that's saying Sasha Vezenkov. The Raptors intend to keep him after rumors have abounded. He's preparing to return to EuroLeague. It's just that some of y'all are late on getting news. The first wave was Vezenkov wants to go back. And then the second wave of information was that's not true. It's false. So y'all are going off misinformation. Yeah. So once again, it's Grange's quote. He's saying, according to those in position to know, reports are that Vezenkov leaving NBA to play in Greece are not true. He has one more year on his deal, and the Raptors control his rights, and they have no intention of waiving him and expect him to have in training camp. So that's from Grange. So they're saying they're not going to try and waive him. And, if he's unhappy, I don't see why. I don't know. Maybe he is. But I don't want any kind of a Goran Dragic situation. It wouldn't be the same kind of thing anyway, because there's not as much hate towards this guy as there is Goran. So, all right, let's see. Tommy's saying, okay, yeah, I already read that. David's saying, I'd like to see him play for us. I love players like that. Yeah, I could see this. I could see this. Seriously, Sasha Vezenkov will probably play for us this year. If he doesn't, well, so be it. If we waive him and we do a cost cutting move, okay. What if he shows up? This is the kind of thing I could see, because in some ways I could see him showing up, and if he is really truthfully wanting to go back to Greece, I'm sure that they can get his release for him and we can free something up. But right now he's under contract and we control his rights completely. That Greek team has no rights to him. And maybe it could very well be the team itself that is putting out this misinformation. This is stuff that they do over there in Europe. That the teams, this is part of what Sergio went through some controversy recently, because there's all kinds of people talking and they try and control perception. And there's teams actively doing misinformation out there to try and gain things for their advantage, anything to gain an advantage. So I could see that being actually officially from the Greek team that's pining for him to return, that it isn't even him. I mean, seriously. So, all right, let's see. Cowboys saying Ulrich. Comshay. Yeah, let's go. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph. We've got our next wise words. Morning blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Know that the mistakes and failures of life are just stepping stones in your future and destiny. Embrace them and keep moving forward. There you go. There you go. Keep moving forward. I like that, Randolph. Embrace your mistakes and the stumbles, because they build you up and make you smarter and wiser for success in the future. That's right. Let's look at Leo's life tip today. It's very simple. Never take anything for granted. That's Leo Routens, and he's saying, have a wonderful day. There you go, Leo. That's right. Put in the work. Show up every day. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. 2-finger salute for Goran from Canadian Dana. That's right. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Mo's saying smooth. Sasha Vezenkov ain't going nowhere. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. In some ways, there are dubious reports going on, but in some ways, I'm going to go with my mainline Raptors reporter that is in the inner circle, Michael Grange, even if I don't like him, and I'm going to listen to him on this because he's the closest. He understands. All right, so Mike is going to give us the deets on this because Mike knows what he's talking about. He's going to tell us he's a salary cap expert for our channel, and in some ways, I'm going to give Mike a dunk right now. I'm going to give him a three-pointer, actually. 55. You got the DeLon right, 55. He's saying that Sasha Vezenkov makes $6.6 million this year guaranteed. Next season, we will have a team option for 6.9. We will have him for a year at least, but that final year could be used in the trade. There you go. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Mike coming in with facts. He is guaranteed $6.6 million to be paid this year. You think that man's going to turn that money down just to go back to Greece when he didn't even have a real NBA chance last year? In some ways, he did play a bit, but Kings misused him in some ways. So hopefully we can use him more correctly and get some more success out of him. I mean, I understand Smooth's idea about wanting to cut costs, and maybe in some ways that's probably what is the real reasoning behind his comment. In some ways, he doesn't care if the guy plays or not, but he wants the money to be fluid and be able to go somewhere. But in some ways, this is part of how we got such a good deal with the Kings, was taking on this money for him and Davion Mitchell, is taking on that extra $9 million onto our salary cap. So in some ways he's guaranteed, and in some ways we have to pay him. So we hope he's going to come and show up. That's right. Carlos saying, why haven't they announced Ulrich Comshay's signing? There could be a couple of different things. It could be that it happens today and it's just a little behind because there's so many players they announced yesterday. It could also be that he's younger and coming straight from Africa. There may be other things like visa and like work visa and different things they got to work out for him. So who knows? It could very well be that Masai wants to do it special for him because it is a very special situation with Comshay being the first ever player straight from the BAL to the NBA. So I would say, Carlo, just hold your breath a little longer. It may be coming out very soon. It could be while we're doing the stream, actually, honestly. All right, let's see. Cool Cat's saying, yeah, I was disappointed to see Fred VanVleet's 23 being used by rookies, but I guess that's the risk using Jordan's number. Yeah, I mean that number is much more paramount to Michael Jordan. If there's going to be another number retired across the league, which they won't do this because everybody wants to wear Michael's number, it would be 23. They retired 6 in the last couple of years for Bill Russell. If they ever retired another number again, I would tell you right now, it would be 23, and it would be for Michael Jordan. Even if LeBron wore 23, also, who cares? I'd say that I would okay that because Michael's like that. There's only a couple players that are like that, but they probably won't because that number should be like allowed for people that are huge fans of Michael Jordan to wear it. Seriously. In some ways, Bill Russell's like Jackie Robinson. It makes sense that somebody who broke the race barrier and did a whole bunch of other stuff that's really important in civil rights, just like Jackie Robinson, that he would be the only guy with his number retired league wide, like 42 in the MLB. So I don't know. 23 is one of those iconic numbers that in the NBA it may never, ever be able to be retired in some different ways. And maybe not for the Raptors franchise for Fred. I don't know. In some ways, this is weird because we haven't seen any 10s or 7s in the last 5 years other than Kyle Lowry. And they're not protecting Fred's number, obviously. Maybe Fred said something and like besides like, fuck him. I don't want to do this. I don't want to retire his jersey now. I don't know. Siakam, I don't see anybody taking 43 ever again. No, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen for sure. But this is weird. This is weird. I'm wondering about this too, Cool Cat. Carlos saying, don't worry, Bronny's going to retire with his dad. Carlo, you just came in with the dunk of the day. Wow. All right. I'm going to give you a 5-pointer for that one, man. You are going to Magic Johnson's 32 number. Wow, Carlo, bringing the heat on that one. That was so good. That was so good. He's like, don't worry, Bronny's going to retire with his dad. Damn. I can see LeBron retiring in like 2 years and getting an NBA franchise and owning it and making the GM keep Bronny on the team for the rest of his career. I could see this shit. Seriously. Bronny will go to the Las Vegas NBA expansion team in the expansion draft because he won't be protected. And then LeBron will own the team and he'll force his team to continue to pay Bronny and keep him in the league just to have a career. I could see this happening. Seriously. There's another Raptor Freak prediction in the next couple of years that if this happens, y'all will know what I'm talking about. Dana's giving the 2-finger salute to Bronny, LeBron, and the Lakers. There you go. Might as well give it to JJ Redick too while you're at it, Dana. And might as well. Nobody wants to go there. This is part of the funny thing about the Lakers. They're not good enough to do well. In some ways, getting the coach and getting Bronny is not improving them. In fact, this is dead weight. Dead weight. Both hires. The hire of JJ and getting Bronny, who's hired, y'all. It's not like he made this league. He's being paid to come in because he's LeBron's son. And I'm telling you, these are really whack decisions that don't help the Lakers at all. There's just appeasing the ego of LeBron. And once again, that is what's kept the Lakers spinning their wheels for like the last 5-6 years is this kind of stuff. Yeah, sure. A Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney bubble championship that don't mean jack shit. And everybody in the league says it over and over again. That championship that LeBron won with the Lakers is full of crap. And this whole situation with JJ Redick and Bronny James is really full of crap. Let's just put it. It's a complete crap. Yes, a complete crap. There you go. There you go. Infamous is saying we're hating on kids now. What's cool now? When did we start caring about a 54th pick? Infamous, I'm hating on him because he does not deserve this spot in the NBA. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you can think I'm hating on a young man. And some people are going to be LeBron fans that are going to come and protect and kind of like defend Bronny James in this whole situation. It's so full of shit. Seriously, this is nepotism. This kid does not need to be in the league. He's not good enough. First of all, if a normal player, a regular player that's not LeBron's son had a heart problem, nobody would be coming near him. Nobody be coming near him. Nobody be scouting him or looking at him. He would not even be known. Second of all, if a player came in and played for 1 year at USC and averaged 5 points and made the NBA, I would question the shit out of that, regardless of who it is. He does not deserve the spot. There are many, many players that played in March Madness that are better than him, that should have been in the league, and he took a spot, a very limited space in all the league. There's only very limited spots in this league. Very, very limited. There's like 300 guys that get to play in the league. Well, there's probably about 50 guys that are on the outside looking in that could be in the league that are better than Bronny right now. But they don't have a dad that's named LeBron. And that is the damn truth. You can argue with me about this or think this or that, but this is just the damn truth. It is. The stats don't lie. The history doesn't lie. The relationships don't lie. So, I mean, listen, people that love LeBron, sexuals get mad at me for dissing Bronny and thinking this is a complete circus and so full of shit. But that's just how I feel, and I'm entitled to my opinions. And all of us have disagreed on different things in the past at different times. Maybe this is just one of them. That's what I'll say right there. Bryce is saying, I don't understand the hate with Bronny. He was drafted as selection where players aren't likely to succeed. How many 55th picks are still playing in? Yeah, why the hate, Lex? It's really because, seriously, there's guys who went really far in the finals, like that deserved that spot, deserved the chance to make the league over him. And you guys got to realize the spots for the NBA, even all the way down to the two ways, even the spots on the G League teams are finite. There's not every spot in the world where everybody can just get stuff. And I get it. Yeah, it's a throwaway pick in some ways, but this is the thing. They're going to prop him up. And like Carlos said, he may not be in the league. If it's proper, he won't be in the league. He may be 1 year and done. If it's really done the right way in the NBA, he can come out, get exposed, and be like, yeah, you're not NBA material, and you're Ron Harper Jr., something like that. See, you guys got to understand this, man. Ron Harper Jr. in some ways got a nepotism hire to come and play for the Raptors on a two-way. And he's a nice guy. He's a nice young man, but he's not good enough to play in this league. And I'll tell you right now, Ron Harper Jr. is not good enough to play in this league. Bronny James isn't. Bronny James isn't, guys. It's not hating. In some ways, this is nepotism. In some ways, it's insulting. It's insulting to young men that worked their ass off and they didn't get the same opportunities because of who their dad was. And that's just the damn truth. Y'all have to understand, this is privilege. This is exactly a great example of privilege. And Bronny James has extreme privilege solely because of who his father is. And you can argue with me, but that's just the damn truth. That's just the damn truth. Carlos saying, I care about the 54 pick because we also have a player in USC averaging 16 points that went undrafted while Bronny had 4 a game. Boom, goes the dynamite. Carlos on fire. I'm going to give him another three-pointer because you can't argue with his logic. How the fuck is Bronny the 8th man on the team in the NBA when the star of USC is not in the NBA? That's what we're saying, guys. And you got to understand that. This is 35. It's a Christian Coloco for Carlo now. He's got a Christian Coloco. He jumped up with 6 dunks just now. Yeah, I mean, I care about it too. I mean, you guys think that Comshay is going to be somebody, right? That's what I'm saying. Those picks matter. Comshay was picked after him, and he's going to be a player for us down the road. Lakers can waste a pick on Bronny if they want. Go ahead. Go ahead. Cool Cat saying, to be honest, Lex, I have no problems with Bronny drafted at 55. Parents opening doors for the kids is natural. It's now up to Bronny to make use of the opportunity. Networking, nepotism, contacts. Well, you can choose that, but me personally, I'm just like with the other people looking on the outside, looking in, and I'm not on the minority on this. There's a lot of people around the NBA that feel exactly how I am, but part of the problem is people are getting bought by the media. They're making a very strong public campaign to normalize Bronny as being an NBA player right away, because in some ways, everybody knows the truth underlying. Sure, you can say that those things happen, but that's privilege. Cool Cat. Once again, we're talking about privilege, and privilege is something that is basically all the doors are open for you, and these doors are not open for other people and get that chance. And in some ways, that's not equality. That's not fair, is what I'll say. You can go ahead and say, oh, it's nice to want to help your kids and get them forward. Sure. In the past, in the wrestling world, they kept the secrets of wrestling away from other people so that their family can enrich themselves by becoming wrestlers later. But anybody could have learned to be a wrestler at that time. That was the Carney secret of professional wrestling. So it's like Dustin Rhodes taught Dustin Rhodes wrestling so he could become a wrestler. That's a family business. Well, in some ways, this isn't the same. This isn't the same. You have to have a certain level of talent to make it. And in some ways, it is the same. Because you can ask David Flair if he could be in the league, because David Flair is just like Bronny James. You can go back and watch David Flair in the late 90s in WCW and just see how bad he was as a wrestler. And the only reason why he was there, because he didn't have the body for it. was because his dad was Ric Flair. It's the same shit. David Flair, Bronny James, same shit. Infamous is saying Clay doesn't move the needle. He made a great choice not going to LA to much uncertainty. New coach, horrible roster, drama, etc. Yeah, I get that. But also, I'm telling you, he's not going to move the needle. You're right. He's not going to move the needle for them. Bryce is saying, I would love Gary back. The more shooters, the better. I mean, that's great. If he's going to be cheap, yeah, that's great. There's value in that for sure. For sure. David's saying Clay went where Clay wanted to go. What do we know? I don't know. I think that maybe he got sick of his dad telling him what to do all the time and just feel like rebelling against his father. I don't know. Maybe he really hates the Lakers a lot because of all the years being on the Warriors and that rivalry. And he just couldn't do it. Maybe he, like I said, he saw the finals and he saw, ooh, these guys are close. If I'm in there, I can help them get there. Yeah, it's not true. It's not true. Cool Cat saying the CBA contract reward the top 2 or 3 players on a team, and then everyone else gets a trickle-down contract. Yeah, that's how the new apron is now. It really is like that. It's like there's going to be major haves and a lot of have-nots. And the mid-level guys, the guys that are in the middle class, in some ways, this totally mirrors society, like real life. There's a very, very wealthy 1% billionaire class, and the middle class is going down to the bottom with the low class, the poorer people. It's like there's just going to be a big glut of a higher percentage of people that have not very much money at all. Lower middle class and even middle class are falling into poverty and more as time goes on. And it's just crazy. And the NBA is mirroring this with their pay structure. Yeah. Cool Cat saying jerseys numbers 7, 10, and 43 better not be worn by anyone at all. Yeah, I don't see. 10 would have been worn by now if it was available. Seriously, how long has DeMar been gone? Why has no one worn 10 since he left? Exactly, because it's not available. And 7, yeah, nobody's wearing the Groats either. And Siakam's, and not that it's a common number, 43, but nobody's going to wear 43 for the Raptors again. Siakam's number forever. That's right. G saying, I wouldn't touch the Lakers either if I was a player. Dan Hurley said, nah, I'm good. JJ Redick's just doing this just to get his name out there. In some ways, he doesn't give a shit if he's a good coach or not. He can come in there and fuck around with this experiment in the Lakers. And if he's horrible, he can just go get the mic and just go back to podcasting and broadcasting. So it's like he has nothing to lose. It's going to be a shit show. He's going to be a huge failure. And in a couple of years, JJ Redick will be back to his old job. Watch. Yeah, it's going to be like that. Yeah, David's saying, laugh out loud. No shit. Trevor J saying 10 more days until Summer League. I'm so ready to watch. Maybe I might go and see a game too. You can go to Vegas and watch the Summer League, Trevor? You go then. You go then, Trevor. Yeah, go tell me how Jonathan Mobo and Jacoby Walter look. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Carlos saying Dwayne Casey also says no to Lakers job. Wow, I did not hear that. So there was, I had not heard this news. So the Lakers tried to hire Dwayne Casey to coach the Lakers or as an assistant coach. It's not totally clear. I thought that Casey didn't want to be a head coach anymore because he's tired and he's old. He kind of did the Danny Glover at a certain point in Detroit, and he said, I'm getting too old for this crap. And then he just, he gave the job to the next guy, and he went to the front office. That's interesting. Yeah, he didn't even want to be involved with that shit show over there. I don't disagree. Yeah. Mike saying the CBA pushes a spreading out of talent amongst every team. Sure, some players will choose less to stay on a good team, but the teams that have been losing and need talent are more able to sign players. This is exactly why they're doing this, and it's fantastic. The parity in the league is awesome at this point. No more Warriors dynasty bullshit. No more of this kind of crap. If the Celtics get a dynasty all of a sudden in the next couple of years, I'd be shocked. Because in some ways, to get to the top and stay up top is not easy at this point because of the way they've restructured the salary cap. Mike, I love it. I love the league being more wide open. And there's not just haves and have-nots, like 8 teams that are absolutely championship contenders, and then everybody else doesn't really have a chance because there's an imbalance. Now there's more balance. Good job, Adam Silver. This is actually an area where you are really improving the league. I will say that I like how more competitive and how wide open it is. And we don't have just a penciled in team at the beginning of the year. This is going to win the championship this year. Because they got like that for a while in the 2010s. That at the beginning of the year, it's like, why watch this NBA season? It's 82 games and not playoffs. I already know the Golden State Warriors are going to win because they got Kevin Durant with Steph Curry. That's part of the reason why Adam Silver did this. Because he realized people will stop buying or paying for tickets when they feel like their team has no chance in hell. Now, ESPN has a new article out today, and they're doing the Eastern Conference tiers for the teams. And in some ways, they have insulted the Raptors once again, but in some ways, we're not at all the way to the bottom, which is good. There's only three teams in the tier below us: the Brooklyn Nets, the Detroit Pistons, and the Washington Wizards. And they're saying they're committed to a full reset. And then we're in a category with just the Hornets in tier 5 out of the 6 tiers of the Eastern Conference. And they're saying that we are teams with a plan, or at least a prospect. And they're noting Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and Scotty Barnes. The team, which for years relied on its defensive length to win games, will need to add more perimeter shooting to the roster around the barbecue 3 in the form of draft assets acquired in exchange for Siakam and Anunoby. Toronto's three-point attempt rate ranked among the league's bottom 5, as did its success rate from outside at just 34.7%. Well, we have definitely restocked the shelves with some really good three-point shooters this summer, and we're going to be coming back with even better shooting this year. So, yeah, be ready for that. And, yeah, they really didn't write a whole bunch about us. I think that we're actually above the next tier, honestly. The Bulls and the Hawks are in the next tier, and they're saying they're stuck in the middle. I actually think we're up in the tier with Indiana, Orlando, and the Heat and the Cavs, teams pushing to be seen as members of the East's elite. I think we're actually one of those teams, and I think that they put us too far down, too far down. Now, I could do the rest of the article, but I don't give a shit. I won't. But yeah, that's where they're talking about with the Raptors and how ESPN's liking to put the perception of where we are in the league. Well, I'd like to see us be above Chicago and Atlanta this year with a record and hopefully in the play-in or straight up in the playoffs. That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Cool Cat's looking forward to the Raptors Summer League. I am too. 10 days away. Smooth saying the Lakers still don't have a coaching staff. Warriors lose Clay. Clippers lose Paul George. And the Lakers offseason going worse. How is that possible? Yeah, because they hired a coach that has no head coaching experience, Smooth. Yeah, and nobody wants to sign with them. They're having hardly anybody show up and want to sign with them. Yeah, I mean, the Clippers actually may be better without Paul George. Not going to lie. The Warriors may be better now because they're coming in with some new blood with DeAnthony Melton. And now Buddy Hield's showing up. Buddy Hield may be an upgrade for Klay Thompson, seriously, at this point in their careers. Because Klay Thompson ain't got it anymore. In some ways, I think Dallas overpaid for him, honestly. And he didn't even get that crazy of a contract that he wanted. I'm just saying, in some ways, the Clippers, without Paul George may be better. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do believe Paul George does not add up to winning. I really, really do believe that. Also, the Clippers and the Warriors have been making some really good free agent signings that are going to change their team a bit. So, Cool Cat saying, my favorite, Siakam's annual summer series kickoff in Austria. Yeah, Siakam's been in Austria doing his time in Austria. I don't know how long he goes there. If he's there for like a week or two or a whole month, he's training real hard. They're drawing his blood. They're doing all kinds of science and research on him like he's a $6 million man, Steve Austin. And he's also going to F1 races. And, of course, he's all around Red Bull and the branding. Let's go look at the Instagram stories since you brought it up, Cool Cat. We'll start off with Raptors admin. They're showing Jacoby Walter with some nice black and white rookie draft pictures. There's a picture of Davion Mitchell in the 45 jersey. Welcome to the 6 to you, Davion. We're going to expect some good things from you. Gary Trent Sr. is, let's see, what is he saying? He's got some funny memes up. And, what else? Bro knew he was hungry, but something is off. Oh, there's some guy wearing a fake nipple feeding his kid as a man, and the baby looks mad at him. That's pretty funny, actually. And then there's this little dog who shoots rubber bands at cups, and Gary Trent Sr. likes it. Coloco, as I said, is working out. There's a picture of him working out, and he's saying, little brother in French, respect the game or something. I don't know. But, yeah, Coloco is on the court and working out. So I'm wondering what's going on there. We'll have to see what happens this season coming up. Mr. New York City is welcoming Ismail Masood to the management group that he is in, MMG. Let's see. He's also hanging out with people, talking to them. And he's saying, may your next tears be tears of joy. He's also recognizing Kemba Walker retiring in the last couple of days, put out a statement saying he's retiring from basketball. And Marquise Noel showing respect to Kemba Walker, a New York legend. Let's see. Yeah, he's got all kinds of Kemba stuff up because he's a big fan. And of course, we've seen that Marquise is working out at the NBA Players Association gym in New York, and he's been working out with John Wall a lot lately too. So that's interesting. All right, and he did a podcast recently. It looks like he was on Overtime Mikey, I guess. Slim Duck is saying, if I leave you alone, please leave me alone back, is what Chris Boucher is saying. If I leave you alone, please leave me alone back. That's a good statement. I like that. And Chris is showing himself on the sideline in Raptors gear, y'all. Now, I know Chris has a contract year for next year. He's in an expiring contract year, $10 million this year. He's get paid by the Raptors. In some ways, he's attractive to trade like Bruce Brown because he's an expiring contract for other teams. But I still don't want him traded. And him showing himself on his Instagram stories wearing the Raptors t-shirt, it means a lot, guys. It means a lot. And people need to start respecting that. I don't know what's going to happen with Chris. In some ways, I'll be upset if he does move on through a trade or something like that. But I also understand I got to trust in Masai and Bobby if they're going to do certain things. But I want Chris on the team. I just love Chris. Chris is our longest standing Raptor. And in some ways, he's important for culture and Canadian content. Scotty Barnes is just posting, God is great. And I'm wondering, because you know what? This is what I think's happening. Jonathan MOGBO is now in the NBA machine. It's like his best friend is all of a sudden in a cool party with him. That he couldn't invite him completely in. He could be, yeah, you're around and you can see my lifestyle, but now you're in the lifestyle. And in some ways, I'll bet you Scotty is really, really feeling like God is great and things are good because he sees such a best friend that he cares so much about getting the life that he has now. And I know that that's probably part of it. Who knows? Maybe there's other things going on in Scott's life. They're absolutely amazing and awesome. But I love that he's praising God and that he is grateful and has gratitude towards great things happening in his life. That means a lot because this is going to empower him. Watch, he's going to be doing something. Now, there's this dumb thing that Legacy Scotty posted yesterday about T-shirts with Drake and Scotty saying that they're wearing the same T-shirt. But obviously, this person is not paying attention to the details because these two shirts are very different. These are not the two same shirts. The Drake message on Canada Day is a very old Raptors shirt with the Raptors claw from probably around, I would say, early Chris Bosh era, late Vince Carter era shirt that I know the vintage on the Raptors shirts. This is one thing, youngsters. You want to come and talk about Raptors shirts, I can tell you the vintage on these. Now, the one that Scott's wearing is a different era. It's actually from a later Bosh era with Anthony Parker and Jose Calderon. So the earlier one is the Drake one. Drake's wearing one that's older than Scott's. And in some ways, also, Scotty may have a pre-release old school shirt for this season coming up because it's the 30th season. Who knows? The Raptors may have given him some swag early because his shirt is not the same as Drake's shirt. And you can go look at it, Legacy Scotty. So stop the misinformation. That's what I'm saying. All right, there's your Instagram stories. Yeah, God is great is what we're saying today. That's right. God is great. That's right. Yeah, good job on the classic card. Daryl Griffin. If you guys like Dr. Duncanstein, Utah is all about Powder League. Well, you could get a Dr. Duncanstein card when I see you at the next Raptor Freak Hangout. I'll have it. Yeah. Let's see. All right, you guys adjudicated. Mason saying, Lex, do you think Luka will ever win a chip? And do you think Zach will fit in Memphis? These are two very interesting questions. Very different. Very, very different questions. All right, this is what I will say to this for you, Bryce Lawson. Or wait, who was that said that? I got to find my the comment again. Okay, yeah, no, it's Mason. Mason said that. Mason asked that. I think Luka could win a chip. You know what? He may have had his best chance this year, but he didn't have a good enough team. Now, there's no guarantees you get back to the finals. So it could be that is his only finals appearance his whole entire career also. Anything's possible. I think that Luka and Kyrie's an interesting pairing, but I don't think it's a winning combination overall because in some ways we saw what happened in the finals. Those guys play the same position and they need better, higher talent at other spots. So their team feels like it's more complete. And there's more guys that do different things at different positions than just guard. So, yeah, I don't think the pairing of Kyrie with him is a championship pairing. And that was part of why they didn't beat the Celtics. I don't mind Luka winning one. Now, he lost yesterday. Slovenia losing to Croatia, even though Croatia didn't have some of their key players. Their team play was better than Luka Doncic and his triple-double. There are qualifiers going on for the Olympics right now, and we should go look at the results from yesterday. Dominican Republic beating Egypt. We also had Croatia beating Slovenia, as I said, and they didn't just beat them. They beat them by like 16, y'all. So in some ways, Luka's not going to the Olympics, so he ain't going to be challenging for that because he's probably going to get put out in this qualifier right now. There's only 4 spots given to these qualifiers. Also, Brazil beating Montenegro, Lithuania pounding Georgia, beating them real bad. Italy really beat Brunei badly. Mexico losing to Lithuania. Oh, wait. Latvia beat Georgia. Sorry. Lithuania beat Mexico. And Bahamas, big game for DeAndre Ayton, Buddy Hield, and those guys beating Finland. And then also Spain taking care of business against Lebanon. No surprise there. So, yeah, we got to keep an eye on these qualifiers in FIBA right now because these are teams that will be in the group with Canada at the Olympics. We got to see who gets through and is added to our group with Australia and us. So, yeah, we're going to have to find out who it is in some ways. It'll be very interesting. Zach and fitting in Memphis, I think he's going to be fine. Steven Adams has gone to Houston. They need that big man role. In some ways, we got to see if Zach fits in the NBA, regardless of Memphis Grizzlies. And in some ways, I'm kind of glad that we're not the team testing it, because if he does turn out to not totally be an NBA player that's useful, well, I don't think the Raptors could afford wasting a high pick on him like that. So in some ways, him going to the Grizzlies is actually a really good thing. In some ways, if he does do really well, like I said, he could come and circle around back to Toronto and say, I want to play for the Raptors. It's a dream I've had my whole entire life. So I don't know if he'll fit there. I think he could, but it's not really if he'll fit with Memphis. It's will he fit with the NBA? That's what I'm wondering, Mason. Cowboy saying, Ulrich is our new Coloco. This guy's going to be fire. How did the NBA let us get him? Masai's a bank robber. Laugh out loud. Let's go, everyone. Have a blessed day. I mean, honestly, he knew about this guy. He's going to know. If anybody knows about Basketball Africa League, it's Masai Ujiri. And Kamshe is somebody he's been watching. He's like, yeah, if he doesn't get drafted and he goes back to, and he's coming back next year, he's going to be probably a top 20 pick, if not a top 10 pick, possibly after another year of development. So Masai wants to get there early and get the 18-year-old, the youngest player drafted the other night, and get him not nailed down and in the Raptors organization. Very, very smart. In some ways, he lost out on Giannis in the past. Well, he wanted to make sure he got Kamshe. And he did. Yeah. Tom's saying, haha, I'm on their board. You're on their board? What board? Their board. James is saying, where should DeMar go? Lakers or Kings? Definitely the Lakers. I don't care if they're a shit show. I don't care if it's a weird thing going on there. I want DeMar to just get a childhood dream. In some ways, it's not about winning a championship for him at this point. I don't think it's realistic in Chicago. And for those two teams, really, I don't know. I just want to see him in a Lakers jersey because it should have happened a couple years ago already instead of him going to the Bulls. And in some ways, like I said, I just want DeMar to get that. He's been such a regular at the Drew League. He's such a fixture in Compton and basketball history that he needs to go play for his hometown. It's just in some ways a homecoming. It's not that I like the Lakers or anything. I like DeMar, and I want DeMar to get a childhood dream. That's purely the thing there. As much as I can diss the Lakers and say that they're idiots for hiring JJ Redick and wasting their time with Bronny James, well, I'd love to see DeMar DeRozan come and play for them and be a teammate of LeBron's. I might actually root for the Lakers if they get DeRozan. Seriously, y'all. That's how much I love DeMar DeRozan. Seriously. Yeah, Isaac's got the logo on blast. There you go. Thanks, President David. There you go. Bryce is saying, I had no idea who Kamshe was until the draft. And, man, he could definitely turn out to be something special. I'm telling you, some of the parameters, some of the early stuff, the tests on him are Giannis-like. And that is not facetious talk. That is real shit. That this kid has some stuff, some measures that are very Anacumpto-like. And that's what I'm saying. We get him early and get him in our system, and boom goes the dynamite. And like 4 years from now, look out. Watch. And maybe sooner, actually. G saying LeBron signs 2 years, so whomever signs with the Lakers has to keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. LeBron now this is the thing. This is interesting. Is he going to do a one and done with Bronny and just say, yeah, we played together 1 year. It was great. I'm retired. Who knows? That could happen. And that's why it's a player option for the second year. In some ways, he has complete control. He cannot be traded. And maybe he heard all these dumb rumors last year. People were putting out maybe LeBron might get traded this year. He got upset about that. Rich Paul came out and made a statement and said, there's no plans to trade LeBron from the Lakers. Well, they want to make sure. Maybe LeBron came in and talked to Rob Pelinka and said, did you really consider trading me last season? He's like, nah, we ain't having that. If you want me to resign, I have to have a no trade clause, just like Bradley Beal. And there you go. But I want to have the control whether I want to retire at the end of the year next year. Yeah. So that's kind of what they set him up with right there. That's right. Yeah. Mike's saying Kemba Walker is retiring. That's right. He retired. He played in Europe last year. He did not play in the NBA. He's retiring from professional basketball. Monique is saying, I just had a thought. What if Jerry Stackhouse spins back here like Jama did? Just imagine, though. Mo, we can't do this. Seriously. In some ways, I'm not that huge a fan of Jerry Stackhouse. People leave, let them go. Everybody wants to boomerang everybody back all the time. Like OG could come back, Pascal could come back. I get it. In some ways, Jerry Stackhouse was here. He had success here, but that his path is past. In some ways, he's mad at us because we hired Nick Nurse instead of him. So I don't think this is possible. I don't think this would happen. In some ways, Jama's Canadian. Remember that, Mo. And that's part of the reason why he came back and he's with the Raptors. In some ways, also, Masai probably talked to Jama and said, look, I don't want this to happen, but if anything goes really, really bad with Darko, I might need you to be the head coach after him. So there's reasons for this. In some ways, they saw Kenny Atkinson go get that job with the Cavs. He's on the Cavs now. And they knew that the Warriors now have an open vacancy for number one assistant, just in case Steve Kerr, something happens wrong. Well, Terry Stotts, who's gotten that job many times as interim coach when somebody gets fired, he's probably not the likely guy. Maybe Jerry Stackhouse sees an opportunity coming to Golden State and saying, if Kerr's gone, maybe I'm the incumbent. So you got to think about it in those kind of ways, Mo. He has no connection to us other than when he was with us before. And I don't think he's coming back to Canada. I really, really don't, Mo. I think that's wishful thinking. Let's see. Trevor's saying we need FIBA-style players on the Raptors team. That's what Sasha Vezenkov is, man. Let's see. D-Door saying Sasha made a statement, FYI. All right, I want to see this. What is Sasha's statement? All right, let me see. I want to look at this. And I appreciate this, the heads up. All right, let's see. Okay, he left a statement about all right, let's see. He's left a statement for the Kings. Okay, so he said this. Let's see, what did he say? Having played my rookie season with the Sacramento Kings has been an incredible and unique experience. I'm grateful for the opportunity and for all the support I received from everyone along the way. I want to thank the organization, my teammates, and the fans who welcomed me from day one. I will cherish the good moments, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds for me. Okay. Now, he didn't really say anything about us. Is there more to this statement, Dor? I would love to see it. If you have it, if anybody finds it, please copy and paste into the chat so I can read it. But he's just saying goodbye to Sacramento in a classy way and showing that he appreciates them. But I appreciate it, D-Dor. Every day, 9:30 a.m., talking Raptors and Team Canada Olympics related news and stuff. Milbester's here. All right, let's see what Knicks fans saying today. Good morning, Lex. So free agency centers are running out. I know I was saying this yesterday in the chat. Mo Bamba's gone now. Mo Wagner went back to Orlando. The Clippers. Yeah, and Goga yeah, those guys are back with the Magic. There's reports the Knicks are going after Kessler and Richards in trades. Nick Richards of the Charlotte Hornets and Kessler, the guy from Utah, Walker Kessler. I don't know. Utah's really high on him. I don't know if he's available. Well, Milbester, that's the thing. Nick's got to figure out. And at least I guess you still have Mitchell. Mike's saying the Euro League team general manager said Sasha is a Toronto Raptor, and Sasha said he's a Raptor for now. He also said he doesn't know what the expectations and plans are, but he's looking to get healthy. Okay, I really trust Mike. He's a really reliable source. And so he's saying that the Euro League team manager has said that Sasha is a Toronto Raptor. He is. He's under contract. They have his rights. In some ways, NBA contract supersedes the contract over in Europe, especially since it's probably more money right now. And he said he's a Raptor for now. Well, if he's a Raptor for now, well, maybe he's a Raptor for this season, and that's it. We'll have to see. Tom's saying, who wouldn't want to join this dog pound Messiah is putting together? Well, I don't know. Sasha was around Darko recently, so hopefully they talked. And maybe, there's a relationship between Vezenkov and Rajakovic already. And that's the thing that matters right there. Right there. That's right. Tommy's got the team on blast, the dog pound there. And David's giving him depth. That's right. Let's go. Dunk for Tommy Dookie. All right. Yeah, we'll give Tommy a dunk. I'm going to give him a 3-pointer for all of his unsung work on this channel as a behind-the-scenes producer. You're got 75, Tom. You're 75 dunks now. Yeah, he's done it. Man, Tommy's been doing so good. He's an underrated player for our team on this team. That's right. Mike's saying, right now I'm a Toronto Raptor. I have to see what they want from me, what their intentions are. But the only thing I really need is to focus on myself and get 100% healthy for the next season. So he's not totally sure. All right. Well, I don't think you should be worried, Sasha. Are you worried about them waiving you? Are you worried about not making the team coming into training camp? These could be legitimate concerns. We'll have to see. The Raptors are signaling that they don't want to waive him so far, but anything can happen with training camp. It could be Vezenkov could understand that, what, it isn't working in training camp. We had you come in and try and play with our guys, and it's not a good fit. So I don't know. I don't think this is anything like Goran Dragic just up and leaving in the middle of the season and saying, yeah, I have higher aspirations. Trade me right now kind of bullshit. No, I can't see Vezenkov doing that. Now, if he's not healthy and he can't play because of that reason, well, that's something different. That's something different right there. Mike, I appreciate you giving me Sasha's quote, and I'm going to give you another dunk for being very helpful today. Mike is the MVP for being super helpful right now. 56 is your number for dunks at this point. Let's see. Mike, you're the man. He totally is, David. You're right. Let's see. Mel Bester's saying, I hope the Knicks find a way to trade for Kessler because that's already reports that they want him, and he's friends on Instagram with Hart and Brunson. Kessler is Christian too, which I am too. That I like that. Well, a majority of the NBA players are Christians, I would think. A lot of them are actually. But yeah, I don't know. In some ways, this is so speculative, and this is your fan nation once again, Mel Bester. Bryce is saying Kessler to the Knicks is interesting. I don't think it's plausible because what is he? He's in his second year or something. Wasn't he rookie last year, or was he in his second year last year? He's going in his third year. Either way, Kessler's such a young, promising player that Utah, they'd have to really trade something good from New York, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. I know that the Jazz value Walker Kessler, that he is one of their main pieces they're trying to build around coming up. I would think Danny Ainge is not stupid. I mean, in some ways, Danny Ainge, Brigham Young, all that kind of stuff. Walker Kessler is his kind of player. So I don't know, guys. I think this is wishful thinking by Milbester and hoping and praying. This is not probably realistic. Let's see. G saying Sasha did want to go back while on Sacramento or force a trade. Sasha will be playing as a Raptor for now. Sasha's girlfriend is a Greek athlete in Greece. And yes, Greek fans are intense and put out propaganda. Okay, so I did not know this about him on the team last year. So he came to the NBA. It wasn't what he thought. It's kind of like going to summer camp and you're like calling and you want mommy to come pick you up and take you home in the first week of summer camp. Yeah, I can see that. Well, maybe because he's not getting the airs and like this esteem that he would over there because he's such a high caliber, top level player in that league. And here he's just a rotational player, barely scrapping for minutes. So maybe he did get in a place where he's like, why did I come here? Oh my gosh. I wanted to see if I could make the NBA. Well, I can't. Well, that's your choice, Sasha. You want to be a loser. You want to say, I'm not even going to try. If you want to get healthy and you want to play for the Raptors, we'll figure it out. Okay, so this is interesting. And he did want to go back while in Sacramento or force a trade. Well, you got traded, my guy. Maybe you'll get to play for us. Now, if it's some sort of thing where we're a month or two in the season and you're not getting playing time and you're a little malcontent on the end of the bitch, yeah, you can be a little bitch. But once again, I will say my original statement to Nako at the beginning of the stream, this is nothing like Goran Dragic because the enmity that was built up with Dragic over the years is something special. Let's just put it that way. Very, very special. There's no way I was ever going to get to be a fan of Goran Dragic, even if he wore the Raptor red for like years. There was no way. Seriously, he's just that kind of guy. You just don't like him. I don't know Sasha. I'd have to hear him talk. Maybe if he comes out and he does an interview, he sounds like a douchey Bond villain from James Bond movie. Maybe I won't like him either. but I want to give him a chance. And it sounds like he's giving the Raptors a chance to figure out where he fits in our scheme of things. And maybe I don't know. I don't like malcontents, especially if they're going to be making 6.6 million. You're going to be whining and crying. Oh man, just take your money and sit and play. And then when you're done, go ahead and go on fucking back to Greece if you really want to at the end of the year. It's not like this guy's necessary. And in some ways, with Smooth saying, it was like, well, can we help our salary cap by getting rid of Sasha Vezenkov? I don't know. Maybe there's a buyout. There could be. I don't know. But I'll go by what Grange said and said that the plans for the Raptors front office are to utilize him and have him be a part of our plan this year. So Randolph saying, Lex, I'm proud of Clay for saying no to LeBron and the Lakers. Clay has nothing to prove, in my opinion. He just needs to end his career on a good note. I think you're right. I think that in some ways, Clay's going to be a Hall of Famer just because he's a 4 champion. And, he is a part of important history for the Warriors franchise. He'll get his jersey retired. In some ways, you know what? I can be proud of him too. In some ways, he's making his dad unhappy. Not happy about that, but in some ways, I'm happy he's making the Lakers unhappy. I guess in some ways. Let's see. Milbester's saying Bronny should be in the G League, a pick that could have went to another player. He should have played another year or two of college to raise his draft value after he recovered from the cardiac arrest. Yeah. In some ways, they only rushed him because maybe LeBron really is seriously going to maybe retire after this year. In some ways, they're like, LeBron's like, you got to come in now. It's like, but Dad, I probably need another year to be able. No, I am old and I don't want to play much longer. And you need to come in the league now if we're going to do this father-son thing we're talking about. Could it be that? It doesn't make Winders that is like they rushed him coming in because LeBron may be wanting to retire very soon. May want to retire very, very soon. And I agree. He should be in the G League this year. He should be playing on the G. But they're going to put him on the team in the Lakers and let him play with LeBron because it's going to be an attraction. But he should probably be down in the G League. He may not even be good enough to be in the G League, honestly, guys. Seriously. I may say Daryl Morsell is better than Bronny James. Daryl Morsell and Ashton Higgins, those guys are better than Bronny James. I'm going to say that right now. In some ways, he had to be drafted by the Lakers as forced by LeBron because it doesn't work if he's undrafted. In some ways, the accolades and everything in the history books has to be LeBron got the Lakers to draft his son at 55. Because if he doesn't get drafted and he's signed afterwards, it's a footnote. So in some ways, he had to be drafted. He had to burn that pick, even if it was a waste. Seriously. Yeah, Mike's saying Bronny has a 2-year deal to make progress. Yeah, we'll have to see. They say he's worked really hard and earned this. Okay. Yeah. If it was saying, tell me then who that should have taken then, Lex. You do know that there is a GM that looks at their grandson when they are not mentioning that. There's nepotism in every sports, the Mannings. Yeah, no, I agree with this. But you've got to understand, nepotism's fine when that youngster has talent. And I'm telling you, that's not the James son that needs to be in the NBA. The younger one is the one who's actually legitimate. I've seen these guys, and in some ways, Bronny is not good enough for the NBA. He really isn't. He's only getting in there because of LeBron. And I get it. Nepotism's all over the place in Hollywood, in wrestling, in business, in all kinds of different places. I get it. And then LeBron has the capability and the power to do this. Well, he's going to go ahead and do it. But that doesn't mean we need to close our eyes with blinders and say that it is what it is and it's not what it's not. It is exactly what it is. And in some ways, okay, we want to get into this world where privilege and, nepotism, giving, there's a huge thing that's going to happen very soon. Baby boomers have a lot of wealth, and there's going to be a bunch of generational wealth that's going to be passed down to their children. And then some people say these people didn't earn it because the parents did it. The baby boomers did it in their lifetime. And these people are just going to get things handed to them. In some ways, does that make you mad? Because if that makes you mad, this should make you mad then. That's what I would say about that, is that it's like Leo's saying this morning, never take anything for granted. And if you didn't earn it, well, it is really not justified in some ways. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of really rich young people because their parents acquired a whole bunch of wealth and they just inherited it, the youngsters. And in some ways, this is what this is. I mean, I don't have anything against Bronny. I'm just saying the pure facts. He's not good enough to play in the NBA, and he's only in the league because of his dad. And I think a majority of NBA fans would agree with me. Now, LeBron fans are going to be fighting the perception war and saying stuff. Well, of course he belongs in the league and all this kind of stuff. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't try and do this, because in some ways, y'all are trying to normalize a reality that is just not true. It's just not true, guys. If he comes in and he wows me, if I see him come to Toronto and play the Raptors and all of a sudden he's amazing, I'll amend my opinion. But right now, there is nothing I've seen from Bronny James that justifies him getting drafted in the NBA. Nothing, not a damn thing other than his DNA. That is it. That's it. Yeah. Infamous saying people are channeling their hate for LeBron through his son. That's all it really is. See, that's part of what LeBron fans are trying to say. That's not true. That is not true. In some ways, I have problems with some of the players. In some ways, I, on the down low key, had a problem with Ron Harper Jr. I'm not going to lie. Seriously, on the down low, but because he's in Raptors family and because I wanted to respect his chance to try and make the league and do what he's doing, you know, it's just this way. And it happens with all these kids, whether it's Sharif O'Neal, Scotty Pippen Jr. There's a lot of young nepotism players coming in the league at this point that really maybe wouldn't have gotten a chance to be there if their name had been anything normal or not a famous player that already played. So I'm going to just say this. You can say this because it's just a hate for LeBron. No, this is a hate for nepotism. This is a hate for people getting things that they didn't deserve is what it is. And in some ways, LeBron, I kind of respect him for really loving his son to do this so much. And so that's not a hate towards LeBron. I was like, oh, well, he really cares and loves his son that he wants to absolutely fabricate an NBA career for him. That's how much he loves him. I mean, in some ways, there. Bullseye. Tom's saying is bullseye what I'm saying? No, I may be channeling my hate for the Lakers organization. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron, but in some ways, I think that this hire of JJ Redick and Bronny being on this team is just absolutely ridiculous. And I can say that. And I think I'm right. And we will see it as it plays out. The dumpster fire in LA will be a little bit different color flame this year, but it's going to be a dumpster fire regardless, no matter what. Watch. Yeah. David's saying bullseye too. So you guys agree with this? That you think that I'm just channeling hate for LeBron to Bronny? No, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. I understand the system of how to get in the NBA, and this kid got unfair advantages and privileges. You know what? If I really wanted to do the research, I could go and give you a whole list of names of guys who were in college basketball this year that should have been getting that spot instead of Bronny. I can get you all the stats. I can get you all the highlights. We can compare them. And I can get if I really wanted to put in like a full-time researching job on this for a day, I could bring you a special report. Maybe I will do this. Just because y'all are telling me this, I will go give you a list of 25 players that could have been drafted instead of him that would have been way better choices for the Lakers. If you guys want that Sunday report, it can come, but it's not Raptors-centric in some ways. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, yes, Lex, it's privilege. Nepotism, networking, contacts. You get the door open for you. Next, fight like hell. Stay there. Yeah. In some ways, people that have to claw and scratch and don't get those abilities, in some ways, I mean, I don't want to go there, but we can talk about privilege and how it pertains to race in our society. You know, this is part of it in some ways. It is what it is. Sure, Luke Walton, Bill Walton's son, he was a nepotism hire too in some ways. Yeah, there's a lot of nepotism in this league. A lot of nepotism. Now, somebody like Cole Anthony, this Greg Anthony's son, he's carved out a position in the league where it matters. And he actually makes sense. And he is his own man, stands on his own. If I was the son of a player that played in the league, I'd want my name to make my own. But in some ways, that's impossible for Bronny. It's going to be impossible for him. It's not that he can be better than his dad. And that's not what I expect. I don't even think he's going to be good enough to play in the league where he looks like he belongs in the league. Now, people like Cole Anthony and other sons like Gary Trent Jr., they fit. They earn their spot. They look like they belong in the NBA. Let's see what Bronny looks like. Let's see what he looks like. I'm telling you right now. And if the NBA tries to fabricate a play show around him to make him look like a legit NBA player, well, shame on them. They're just doing more and more smoke and mirrors. If there's some weird ref calls for Bronny James, like if he's getting ref calls like his dad does, something's fucked up. Let's just put it that way. Seriously, think about that. Think about that. If Bronny James gets superstar calls from the beginning of his career, man, the NBA is so fucking broken. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Tom Duke is saying, I hope he is as great as his dad and his teammate. You want that for him, Tommy? Okay. Man, this is such a dissension today between me and a lot of y'all today. I'm gonna hate on this. I told y'all I'll like the Lakers this year if DeMar goes there, and I'll root for DeMar. But otherwise, this Bronny James thing is a farce, and the JJ Redick hiring is a farce also. And you guys, it's fine. You guys can all disagree with me today. It's kind of refreshing, actually. Let's see. David's smiling. Let's see. Mike saying, what I know is certain families sacrifice so much with so much less to push their child's dream to play basketball and be drafted in the NBA than people see an undeserving rich kid that got a free ride. Once again, Mike and Carlo, they see what I'm saying here. And Mike is right on with this. Cool Cat saying, I just don't understand how the majority of NBA players voted against their own pocketbook. How stupid is that? Learn the business side, NBA players. Don't be greedy. Vote for everyone's benefit. Well, that's just the way this society is going. Dumb people are poor people are dumb. There's people that are going to vote for Trump, and he's going to do exactly the same thing in the U.S. If he gets back in power. He's going to take more wealth and distribute it back up to the top with the billionaires, and they're already getting so much going towards them through the stock market. It's the biggest criminal scam thing, the biggest transfer of wealth from the working class, the people that do all the jobs, to the people that don't do jack shit and just make escrow and make money off of dividends and their stocks going up and down. And meanwhile, the people that are busting their ass are going to have their income shrink more. This is exactly the same thing. So maybe the whole players overall, the players union, maybe they're like, yeah, it's really good for the top players, but not good for the majority. Well, it's the same kind of shit. There's poor people that love Donald Trump because they think he's all awesome and stupid, and they're in their MAGA cult. But meanwhile, he's screwing them over and stabbing them in the back, and they're too stupid to realize it. So, I mean, it's the same kind of thing, Cool Cat. Maybe some of the players weren't informed well enough. Maybe they should have voted. Maybe some of them didn't. There you go. Cool Cat saying, I got to appreciate Boston Celtics owners' business move. Buy low and sell high right after a chip at the pinnacle. Well, that group bought just before the last championship, before this one, the one with Garnett and Pierce and them. And, well, they knew the bump that they got in their incomes from that championship in 2008. And they feel it now, and they're like, yeah, this is when to get out, because this is going to be, in some ways, they're going to make the most money coming off of this. It's just smart business. I get it. Now, I'm worried that this team will be bought by a very nefarious, gross, right-wing, crazy-ass billionaire person. There's just a lot of them buying up the NBA teams at this point. It's sad and it's twisted. In some ways, it's a money laundering thing for these people, too, to buy an NBA team. So, yeah, in some ways, I'll be paying attention to the ownership for the Celtics and how it morphs and after the sale of what they're trying to do right now. Milbester saying at least MLB players can get paid as much as they want. No salary cap, and the new CBA and MLB raised rookie minimum salary from $500,000 to $750,000 in fixed arbitration and other contracts players can get. Yeah, I don't know if that's good or not. I think this Ohtani contract's full of shit. I think that the way they structured it is absolutely cheating the system and whatever. I mean, it's not like MLB has a better system than the NBA with their salary cap. The MLB has always been horrible with their salary caps, allowing the Yankees to just spend as crazy as they want to. And it really has hurt the MLB in a lot of ways because this, once again, the haves and have-nots. New York can spend as much as they want as on anything for the Yankees, and other teams have no budget. Well, why would I even watch baseball? In some ways, this is part of the reason why I don't watch baseball, Milbester, is because of this very thing that you just said. Yeah, Logical saying OKC, I think, has a great plan at the moment. They will trade away or let those second and third contract role players walk so they can use first-round picks and unpaid rookies to keep their team at the top. Yeah, OKC's weird strategy. They're very, very young for a long, long time. And now they're starting to bring in some veterans into the mix. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that that's a good thing in some ways. So in some ways, I'm not paying as close attention to OKC as you might, but I can tell you're a fan of what Sam Presti's doing there. I can tell. All right, let me see. Where am I in the chat? Let's see. Mike's saying, Milbester, do you know that the Tampa Bay Rays are in big trouble and are going broke and having trouble meeting payroll? No salary cap isn't a healthy system. The salaries explode and the revenue isn't there. Yeah, and once again, the parity of the NBA that we're starting to get, the NFL has good parity also, is from salary cap structure, and the MLB could learn from that. In some ways, is whatever. Go ahead and do your Otani bullshit, is what I'm saying. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I have the same T-shirt that Drake showed on Canada today. That's awesome, Cool Cat. Very, very cool. That's a very old school shirt. Yeah, that's a very old school shirt. Milbester saying that's why the Rays were likely to be relocated to Nashville, and also Tropicana Field is a terrible venue. I will agree with that. Not modern stadium standards, and Rob Manfred forced them to get a new stadium or relocate. Yeah, whatever happens with this, we're talking too much MLB in some ways. I'm going to skip your stuff. I don't want to talk baseball. Mason saying some rumors were he was coming here to Toronto again. Who? Who? Oh my God, rooting for the Lakers. Bronny James? What? No, no. Listen, I don't know, Mason. Who are you talking about? Rumors where he's coming here? I don't even know who you're talking about. You mean Bronny? Well, there was a little bit like Masai went and scouted Bronny, and Rich Paul used that as leverage. In some ways, they used Masai Ujiri's name to bona fide Bronny as being like a legitimate draft pick. That was part of what Rich Paul did. He just threw a name and said, "Yeah, Masai scouted him." He did, but he scouted everybody. He scouted everybody. Like Dan Tolzman said, we looked at everyone. It's not like we especially looked at Bronny James or anything like that. But Rich Paul utilized Masai Ujiri's brand name to make more quality to Bronny and the package coming into the draft. Oh, well, if Masai's looking at him, he must be pretty good. That's all that was. Clutch using Ujiri's name. That's all that was, the rumor or whatever. And Dan Tolzman told the truth after that. Yeah, Wayne saying, okay, Milbester has to go. We talk Raptors basketball and NBA-related topics. Please go away. Milbester, yeah. In some ways, I'm going to time you out for today, all right? You're getting timed out because Wayne's pissed off. He's annoyed with you. So you're getting timed out for 10 minutes, but you're not banned from the channel. It's just I don't want to listen. I don't want to look at your chat anymore in some ways. Yeah, so no. Mason saying Bronny Lames and the old man Bron. I think it'll be cute and fun that a father and son team can play together. Oh, so cute. It's so cute. It's cute. It's history. Yeah, you guys go ahead. That may be the achievement that y'all will have to just go with a whole year. Yeah, just like Bron getting the career scoring title from Kareem. That was the thing the whole year. Lakers ain't got much to cheer for otherwise. Okay, a sham of an in-season tournament trophy. Got to give LeBron what he wants before he leaves, Adam Silver. And it's in-season tournament trophy and his son on his team with him and JJ Redick, his coach. Yeah, it's all that stuff right there. Wayne's saying, we don't care about the Knicks either or than beating them when we get our act together. Boom goes a dynamite. Wayne's getting a dunk. Wayne's going to get a three-pointer for his patience with this guy. 42. You got the old Jakob number, 42, Wayne. Yeah, three-pointer for you. Yeah. David's saying exactly. And Mike's saying the statement is in the chat, the one he's talking about. Yeah, thank you, Mike, for putting it in there, and I did read it eventually. James is saying, I've seen Gary to Milwaukee rumors. Good fit for him. I don't mind that fit for him either. It'll be tough to see him in a conference rival, but if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. Milwaukee kind of understated picking up free agents here and there. Who did they get again? I forget. There was one pickup that they got, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good for Milwaukee. Let's see. Monique is saying Nick Wright refers to Emmanuel Quickly as Isaiah. Oh, really? Nick Wright? He's on ESPN or something, isn't he? Or something? I don't know who that is. In some ways, I've not watched ESPN in like a decade almost because I don't fucking listen to their bullshit. So in some ways, he calls him Isaiah. He calls Emmanuel Quickly Isaiah. That's weird. So he's saying the Raptors won't let the Sasha situation fester. At the first sign of discontent, he's gone. Well, if he really wants to go, maybe there's a buyout, and maybe that's how we save some money. Maybe that's a really interesting way where we can sell him out, save some money real quick. Mike's saying, not gonna lie, Sasha has a good chance to really get minutes for us. We need his size at power forward. I agree with this. Hopefully he sees a great opportunity to work out the kinks and play some team ball. Yeah, and I don't understand why he wouldn't want to come and play for Rajakovic. The system for us is better than the Kings for him. And in some ways, I could see him fitting and him being happy. So we'll have to see. Either way, I don't like him saying for now kind of shit. We'll just have to see. Either way, he's small potatoes. And whatever happens with Sasha Vezenkov is not going to be life or death for us. in some ways. Carlos saying, yep, Sasha now has a chance to carve something. I doubt he's that stupid. This guy knows how to pass, dribble, shoot. He'll be a good fit in Darko's system. Exactly. Carlo's on point today. James is saying he was the MVP in the EuroLeague. He is not a scrub. Darko definitely is going to give him at least 15 to 20 minutes a game. We'll just have to see. Part of it may really be contingent on how healthy he is. In some ways, we don't want him out there if he's half hurt and he's not as good as he can be. We'd much rather have him sit on the pine and get fully healthy, and then he can come back and we can see him for real. If he tries to play half hurt, it may not be a good thing. Carlos saying, like Bronny, Ron Harper Jr.'s baby brother is a monster, Dylan and Bryce. This is what I'm saying. Now, I can tell the difference between real talent and not real talent. And Bronny James is not real talent. Bryce is. Bryce has the height. Bryce has the skills. Bryce has the aura. I'm just telling you. I felt it like a couple years ago. When I saw both of LeBron's kids, I was like, the one that's going to be good is Bryce. Bronny is it's just because he's the older one. He's coming through first. But Bryce, in some ways, you don't have to watch him. He's the one right there. And in a similar way, Dylan Harper will go into the draft next year, and he will probably be in the top 10 draft picks. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Ron Harper Jr. was undrafted and came to our team on a two-way. So, yeah, Carlos got some perspective here that's very much lining up with mine. Mike's saying the spacing with Sasha and Kelly and Grady and Jacoby and Davion Mitchell off the bench. We have other combos, too, with Osha and maybe Gary. Yeah, lots of scoring options. ESPN says we were really bad at three-point shooting last year. Well, we got a lot of new three-point shooters, all kinds of new three-point shooters. We upgraded, and we're going to be in good shape now. Yeah. Most saying W stream, W vibes only. Yeah, got about 20 minutes, maybe done sooner. Keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak family crew, strong forever. And that is our cutoff. Thank you, Mo. Thank you for being a great producer on this channel and helping me with cue cards and helping me direct. In some ways, she's like the director. She's like, all right, guys, cut. And Lex, make sure you talk about this and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of directing by Mo on this channel for sure. Dana's saying, I agree with everything you're saying, Lex. The whole Bronny situation reeks. Like I said, from day one, the precedence being set is so bad for the league. You know, I mean, I think this is a very special individual case. Now, see, other players can be powerful, like Shaquille. Let's talk about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is obviously very powerful in the NBA ecosystem as far as a broadcaster, a Hall of Famer, an all-time great, a dominant guy in general. But Shaquille also had a son come into the league, Sharif, and he didn't pan out. He didn't get anywhere. So there's limits to this. I think that LeBron is just such a stranglehold special case because he is the league in some ways with the cash cow that Adam Silver has to do whatever he says. Now, if somebody like DeMar DeRozan came up to him and said, my son Frankie wants to be in the NBA, will you make him in the NBA? They may not let him do that. So it really is specifically how powerful LeBron is as a singular NBA player. I mean, who would be next? Kevin Durant? I don't think Kevin Durant has any kids, but if Kevin Durant had a son and he came to Adam Silver and said, I want you to get him drafted in the league no matter what, in a secret meeting, I don't know if Adam Silver would be bending over backwards to help Kevin in that situation like he would LeBron. You got to think about it that way. But Dana, I'm with you on this, and I hope that there's not more of this in the future. I think that this may be just a specifically one case, but who knows? I may be wrong. And there may be some crazy ass stuff where it does go to lower tier players than just LeBron. Maybe all of a sudden it's like Donovan Mitchell's in like his 20th year. And he's like, my son wants to play with me. And he's coming in. And his son sucks. You know, who knows? Trevor's saying it's not Bronny's fault being LeBron's son. Give him a chance and let's see what happens. I'm not saying it's Bronny's fault. I'm just saying the situation's problem. You guys are being sensitive to thinking I'm dissing Bronny. I don't care about Bronny. I don't care about his feelings either way. I don't care if, I don't hate him, but I don't love him either. I'm just saying he's in a place where he doesn't deserve it. In some ways, it's a tough place for him to be no matter what. He's a victim in some ways in this case, in some ways, because it's not it's kind of like, all right, I don't know if y'all watch Who Killed WCW, this great mini series that came out on Crave in the last couple months, Well, one of the things that killed WCW was they gave the WCW World Heavyweight Championship to David Arquette. Yeah, the actor that was married to Courtney Cox from Friends. He's an actor. He never wrestled before. And all of a sudden, he was the world champion. Well, the fans hated it. They're like, this guy didn't deserve this. Why the hell did they give him this championship? And he heard all the noise. Well, he started thinking about it. He's like, they're right. I don't deserve this belt. What the fuck? Why did they give me this belt? This is so horrible. In some ways, Bronny may be on the down low, kind of like feeling like this. They're like, oh man, all this is coming so fast. In some ways, I don't feel like I totally deserve this all. And he may be just caught in the middle of it all. See, I can talk about it in a sympathetic way towards Bronny James. And don't think that what I'm saying, just because I'm being critical of him, is like me being mean to him or anything. No, I'm just being realistic. I'm just speaking the truth. And y'all can think, oh, I'm being mean to a young man who didn't do anything wrong. No, that's not what this is. I'm saying this kid is not good enough for the NBA. And he shouldn't be anywhere near it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's his fault. In fact, it's his dad's fault, if it's anybody's fault. And Adam Silver is complicit too. There you go. Kareem's here, just dropping in to say, what's up, freaks? There you go, full ass. It's a complete crap. If the Lakers are going to win tonight, you're just going to have that happen. Why do we even show up? That's right. Mike's saying James and James Jr. laughing my ass off. Yeah, he's going to wear 9. We're going to have number 9 worn by Bronny James. And Nick Van Exel is signing off on it saying, I approve of this guy wearing my old number. There you go. Mike's all right. Smooth saying DeLon Wright signed with the Bucks. That's right. That's the signing I thought was really good that came in for the Bucks recently is DeLon Wright, underrated signing, and hopefully he'll help them in certain ways. With Drew Holiday gone, that's right. Mike's saying Bryce does look NBA. See, Mike, in some ways, he's an eye like me. He watches a lot of basketball and clips, and he has a learned eye. And he sees the same thing I see with Bryce. See, so it's not just like a blind hate towards LeBron. It's just I'm being realistic about stuff like this. Now, if Bronny is like Grady and I say, oh, Grady can't play in this league, he's not good enough, and Grady could, well, then I'll amend my opinion in the future. But I prognosticate, I make predictions on this channel. If my prediction about Bronny James is wrong in the future, I'll circle back and I'll admit that I was wrong. A lot of people that make predictions and say shit all the time out their ass, they don't ever come back and make corrections in the future. So I'm standing on this right now. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and apologize. How about that, guys? How about that? How about that? There you go. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Blackhawk saying Bronny's signing compensates LeBron. Yeah, he's with Clutch. And everybody who's in Clutch, LeBron's getting some money off of it somehow, some way down the road. That's why I've always thought LeBron's association with Clutch, his investment in Clutch, is so fishy and convoluted in some ways. That's right. Neil's right. Mike's saying, how old is Temple's kids? His kids are just as young as Darko's and Dennis's. Yeah, they don't have very old kids. Now, Thad Young, I don't know if he can hold on long enough. Thad Young's got to play maybe another four years, I think. I think they were saying Thad Young Jr. will be 2029. So, yeah, I don't know if Thad Young's going to survive that long in the NBA at this point. This will be very, very, very tough for him. Infamous saying, Mike, most NBA players' kids in the league are rich. What are you talking about? Do I need to cook you again like I did on the other channel, Mike? Infamous, I'm going to say this right now. You ain't going to be cooking Logical Raptors fanatic because he's ensconced. He's good with me, just like Bronny's good with LeBron. All right, listen. All right, let me break this down. I'll cook you instead. How about that? All right, most NBA players' kids in the league are rich. Yeah, because they're all rich families and stuff like that. What is that point about that? What is the issue with this? What I am saying, this has nothing to do with the money. This has to do with athleticism and ability to play. I don't think Bronny is good enough. You can look at his stats at USC, and there's nothing there that tells me he should be in the NBA. There's nothing there. In some ways, his shooting percentages are not good. He did not produce numbers as far as like, let's look at his assists, his rebounds, his points. What did he do? How many games did he play in college, Infamous? Forget about everything else. Forget about who his dad is. He's player X. If you saw his shit, you would say this guy's not in the NBA. That is my point right there, Infamous. And you want to say you're going to cook Mike? No, sir. No, sir. You're not cooking Mike here. Mike is a valued person on this channel. And in some ways, no. You go ahead, cook him. Cook him. Go ahead, Infamous. Cook him. You go ahead. I'm inviting you to cook him right now. You said you want to cook them like you did on other channels. You go ahead and cook them. Cook them. I'm waiting. Get the microwave out. Cook them. Write something. Write something about it. What you have to say about that. Seriously. Kareem's saying Infamous wants all the smoke. Yeah, you can get the smoke. In some ways, I love Infamous. Infamous is great. But I don't like him calling out one of my friends and trying to say that he's going to cook them. Because, yeah, let's say heat check. Exactly, Mason Culligan. Seriously, come on. Cook him. Cook him. What are you doing? You slow roasting? Did you go get the crock pot? Is this going to take all day? Is this what's going on here? Because I'll go get the toaster if you want. And I'll just pop you right in and pop you right out. And you could go ahead and slow roast them on the pot roast, like in the crock pot. Yeah, no. Seriously, why do you want to cook Mike? And what did you say to him? Seriously, in other spaces. What was the argument? What's the history here, Mike? Maybe you can fill me in from the other side, Logical Raptors fanatic. And I'm sure he will do it in a diplomatic way. He'll say, all right, Infamous did this. He said this to me on Zazu Spaces. It was so stupid. I don't know. Tell me where this happened. What channel was this? Was it on Penn State basketball? Was this where it was? Was it in that fucking hellscape of Penn State basketball with all this stupid shit over there? I don't know. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. This is funny. All right, yeah. Either way, this is a little bit like wrestling. This is a little bit like wrestling. What we're doing right here. All right, let's see. I guess I kind of skipped stuff. All right, let's see. Mike's saying, did you ever research hypobaric and hyperbaric chambers? No, you mean for like training for like the athletes? Yeah, the cold treatments and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about, Mike? Yeah, this is something that players are using. They're using hyperbaric chambers, and it does different things with oxygen in their skin and their stuff like that. It's like kind of like what Siakam's doing over in Austria with Red Bull and his training right now. He's probably doing some of that hyperbaric chamber stuff, is what I'm seeing. Yeah. Mike's Kareem's saying I've used hyperbaric chambers for years in my football days. So see, Kareem, when he was a running back in his old days of getting the ball and going, he would use a hyperbaric chamber. That's very cool. Trevor's saying Bryce has all the skills like his father. It's just an aura thing. It's a weird thing. In some ways, you can feel energy from people, and Bryce has that energy. In some ways, Bronny, too much pressure on him. He's LeBron James Jr., and in some ways, that is just like right from your birthright. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm LeBron James Jr. Yeah, those shoes are so big. They're like one shoe's as big as the Pacific Ocean, and the other shoe's as big as the Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, Bryce James, he can go through life and is like, who are you? I'm Bryce James. I don't even know that you're LeBron's son. I'm just Bryce. Hi, I'm Bryce. I'm telling you, that's part of it. It's the namesake. And once again, Bryce James is a taller player than Bronny James. He has more NBA height to his game. And in some ways, I've seen some really good skills from him too. So there you go. Mason's laughing. Dana's laughing. Let's see. Heat check. What's Sasha using? There you go. Blackhawk saying Clutch did a dry run on how to rig the draft with Bronny. Listen, it's crazy what they did. All right, the ESPN media machine, the NBA media machine went into overdrive trying to legitimize Bronny James as a real prospect. All these guys like Gavini and Wu and all the people that write for ESPN started writing like nice things about Bronny. In the beginning, they did not. There were a bunch of people that wrote stuff that was like, yeah, this guy are we wasting our time? What is going on here with this? Well, I think Clutch, Rich Paul, LeBron came, and Adam Silver even to an extent, and the head of ESPN came. You guys got to understand, this kid's big money for us. Y'all can't be talking the truth about him and how he is not a legit NBA player. Y'all need to sell everybody on him being a legit NBA player. So y'all go ahead and be duped. Y'all go ahead and be duped by the machine that wants you to believe he's a legitimate NBA player. You go ahead. When the experts miraculously all of a sudden changed, it's like Gavini started writing weird shit about Bronny close to the draft. He started saying stuff. He works really hard, and he's always showing up. It's like he had to write something nice about him because he's not allowed to write anything negative about him because ESPN came to him and said, you can't write bad things about Bronny because we want to make him legitimate. That's what happened, y'all. And if y'all want to just go ahead and believe the perception that the NBA, ESPN, and Clutch and Rich Paul want to sell to you, you go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead and be duped by that. I'm not. I understand reality in this situation just because the news is telling you certain things. That's the thing. Apply this to politics. Apply this to all kinds of things in this world. Apply this to electric vehicles. You're going to say all this crazy shit about electric vehicles are bad for the environment. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's just the gas companies paying the press to make that kind of stuff come out there, just to fight against it. The power of perception is a war in our world more than ever. My channel exists partly for this. The perception about the Raptors, I'm fighting for all the time, fighting the war of perception. And in some ways, the perception of Bronny was manufactured in the last 3 months by ESPN, NBA, Adam Silver, and Clutch. Right there. That's just the damn truth right there, y'all. That is just the damn truth. Mason saying Rob is the worst. Yes. He's so short. Can he hit a layup in real life? That's the question. I want to see people block him. You know, this is the thing. What happened in WNBA this year? Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark came in this league with a bunch of hype around them that they didn't deserve, according to the old vets in the WNBA. There were some welcome to the NBA moments. Well, do you think that there may be some welcome to the NBA moments for Bronny James, even if he's LeBron's dad? I mean, son, you think that's going to happen? Don't you think there's guys in this league that are clawing to be in this league that made the hard way, that are going to try and do something crazy? It's not they're going to try and hurt him, but there will be welcome to the NBA moments for him in the same vein as there were for Reese and Clark. Trust me, because the hype does not match some things. In this case, very much does not match the situation. In some ways, it's insulting to see pictures from this past draft, and they show the top 3 picks, Sar, Rizaker, and Reed Shepard, and then the 4th person in there is the 55th pick. Why the fuck is a second round 55th pick on the advertising for the draft? Once again, it could have been the 4th pick instead for whoever it was, Klingon or whatever, whoever it fucking was at that time. I'm just saying, y'all, understand. There's going to be some welcome to the NBA moments. That's right. All right, let's see. Mike saying Infamous is all right. I know he's a Bron fan, and he knows I'm not. And we had a disagreement about Bron and his recovery procedure. And I said Bron has been using both, and one is basically EPO. Okay. So this is a history of just being on different sides of the Bron debate. And okay, well, that's fine. I appreciate it. Mike, thank you for coming mature and explaining the situation like that. Yeah. Mason saying, I feel bad for Bronny. All jokes aside, good luck, young man. This is incredible pressure. In some ways, it is tough. I mean, I have sympathy for him, but the situation's ridiculous, honestly. Mike saying, I tried to explain the science of red blood cell generation and oxygen delivery to the muscles. Okay, so this was really an intense argument. You get into those places. Mason saying it's really not Bronny's fault. It's the Lakers and the media and Bron and Adam Silver and the NBA. Yep. Neil saying, consider this. Bryce is better and Clutch wants to get him to the Lakers. Clutch has the method for controlling that, and Adam Silver will do nothing. That's gangster moves. Neil's exactly right. The whole way that Rich Paul warned all the other teams that if they drafted Bronny James, he'd go to Australia was absolutely wrong. And what Neil is saying, because they did that, well, they have the procedure to try and do it again when Bryce comes out. Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I don't see Bryce playing with his dad. He actually said that himself. He said his dad's too old to play with him. He doesn't think he's going to get the chance to play with his dad. Now, listen, I think it'd be much better for Bryce James and go on his own path than not be associated with the Lakers, to not go and play with Bronny James, to play on his own and make his own name for himself. I'm telling you, Bryce James, do it on your own, because in some ways, the way your brother's doing it is just a scam. And in some ways, you could legitimize as the son that actually did belong to come into the NBA. And don't let the Lakers railroad you to being on their team. Seriously, don't let them do that. Yeah, don't let them do that. Amazing stuff, Neil. I appreciate you showing up. Mike saying, sleeping at high altitude can't be bad. Players live in Denver, but some players sleep in these plastic chambers to stimulate high altitude, increasing your red blood cell production and increasing your VO2 max. Yeah, this is something that's been used by athletes in different methods and procedures for a long time. Long time. It was saying, let's use common sense. If the commissioner helped Bronny get in the league, that would mean he influenced the draft. Do you know how many lawsuits would happen? Shaking my head. What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, what happened is there's a lawsuit recently by the Knicks, and Adam Silver wants dictatorship. So listen, if there's any issues in the league, nobody's going to try and sue the league. Nobody's going to try and attack Adam Silver for this. The rest of the league's just going to be like, yeah, you make the rules. We got to do what you say. So why would you say that there would be lawsuits? In some ways, like I said, Rich Paul game shit by saying if you draft him, he's going to not come to the league and go to Australia for a year. I wish somebody had called him on that. Seriously, I wish somebody had drafted Bronny, like Atlanta. And then we would have seen if they would have followed through with that bullshit that Rich Paul was saying. And then you know what? That might have fucked up this whole father-son thing because Bronny's wasting his damn time in Australia just because of some bullshit. And LeBron is not going to get to play with his son. Ooh, that would have been golden. That would have been amazing. And that is a hater in me saying that. But in some ways, that maybe should have been what should have been done. But you know what? Maybe none of the teams in the league had the balls to go against the power structure of the league and actually try Rich Paul on that, you know? Because seriously, if they had Adam Silver behind him, Adam Silver has this perfect vision of, oh, it'll be great, LeBron. We'll have you with your son, and the marketing will be amazing. The story in itself is just so good for television. We will make this happen, LeBron. If you don't think, seriously, why did we say he was going to the Lakers no matter what for like 2 months coming up to this? Why did everybody predict? Every single mock draft almost out there put 55, Bronny James, Lakers. Why? Why was that such a slam dunk? Because it was all negotiated all along. It was negotiated probably 2 years ago. So, Infamous, you go ahead. You go ahead. Keep putting your head in the sand like an ostrich would. I'll keep my ears and eyes open. How about that? How about that? Yeah. Mason saying many guys are not Bron fans because of all the things James done along the way in his career. You know, listen, I'm going to tell y'all once again, I am not a LeBron fan because I was not a Kobe fan. I was not a Michael Jordan fan. I've never rooted for the number one most popular player in the league. I've never, ever, ever rooted for them. I've rooted against them because I don't go for the easy person to root for. Sure, it's real easy to be a Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls fan in the 90s. But you lazy fucks that just want to, I'm not even from Chicago. I have no tie to it. I just like the Bulls because they win. Okay, go ahead and be a Michael Jordan fan. Okay, I'm a Kobe fan because I love how many championships he gives. I hated the Lakers and Kobe and Shaq because I was like, that's too good. That's too tough. I want the David in the fight, not the Goliath. So why the fuck would I be a LeBron fan if I wasn't a Michael fan or a Kobe fan before him? That's it right there, guys. Sure, you could add in the pain of LeBronto. You could talk about what happened in the 2010s, but in some ways, I don't care about that anymore. It's pure and simply, I root against the top player in the league no matter what. It doesn't matter what their name is. That's it right there, guys. If you really want the truth, I go for the underdog. I'm a Raptors fan. I have always gone for underdogs in every situation. I was going for the Edmonton Oilers to come back and get the 4 games in a row and complete that series against the Florida Panthers because that was the underdog in that situation. I go for the underdog. So that's why I'm not a LeBron fan, because being a LeBron fan is easy, you motherfuckers. You guys want to be lazy-ass fans who got to root for the easiest team, easiest player to root for because the league sucks his dick and gives him whatever he wants. You go ahead and be lazy and do that. That is the damn truth right there. Why I do not root for LeBron, because I didn't root for Jordan and I didn't root for Kobe either. Mic drop. That's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. Right there, guys. That is it right there, guys. Milbester saying, Lex, you were right. There's an article on TMZ 4 days ago, and Rich Paul said Bronny belongs in the NBA, and this was after the draft combine. He told all the teams not to draft him. Nepotism, hypocrite. I'm telling you, Clutch, Rich Paul, and LeBron have been too powerful around the NBA for too long. And in some ways, he shapes this league in the way he wants to. And as you know, we might as well say LeBron James is instead, he was running the Lakers a couple years ago. He was the GM. Well, he stopped doing that, but he's kind of doing it right now because of JJ Redick and his son. But in some ways, he graduated from being a GM to the commissioner at this point. Yeah, in some ways, LeBron's going to be the commissioner. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Silver's gone and LeBron James is the NBA commissioner at some point. Why not? We might as well do that. We might as well do that. But yeah, Milbester, a lot of what I'm saying is documented. And that stuff about Australia and Bronny James is very much documented and is why Neil's upset, because there's a precedent set that people will hold out and do crazy shit. Now, people did this in the past, but in some ways, strong arming the NBA to draft your son, that's crazy. That's crazy. Most saying, I put a highlight video of Davion Mitchell in the Facebook group for you, Lex. Cool. I'm familiar with him because he has been in the league for like 4 years. The thing that surprised me about Mitchell last year is his three-point shooting was actually really good last year. I didn't realize that. In some ways, I thought offensively he's kind of a dead end, but he's actually a good three-point shooter on the down low, and people don't talk about that much. Blackhawks saying, if you draft my client is going to Australia. Hostage tactics. Boom goes the dynamite. Blackhawks on it. It is exactly hostage tactics. This is what terrorists do. This is what terrorism. Terrorists. That's right. Terrorists. All right. You got 40, Neil, because I gave you a three-pointer. You're at 40 dunks now. Blackhawk. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Carlos saying, this shows how bad the Lakers front office is. Put that team in Charlotte and it'll go bankrupt. Yeah. Seriously. This is true. Mason saying, yeah, Bryce come play for Toronto. Laugh my ass off. That would be awesome. I'd love Bryce James to play for Toronto Raptors. I don't want Bronny James on the Raptors, but Bryce James, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to see Bryce James in a Raptors jersey. Yeah. Make a name for yourself. Do something totally different than your dad and your brother. Do it, Bryce. Be like Clay. Defy your father. Luke, you are my father. I'm never join you. Exactly, right there. That's awesome. I love that, man. Infinite saying, Lex, it's friendly between me and Logical. Not that serious. I cooked them already. All right. I didn't know. In some ways, like I have a rule in my wrestling group that on Facebook. There's no infighting between group members because I'm an admin. So in some ways, I have a little bit of a proclivity to that. But in some ways here, I shouldn't have that rule here. You guys should be able to have healthy debates. And this is all good, man. And so I like the opportunity to be incredulous and a little ridiculous just now that you gave me. And it was fun. It was fun to cook and everything. And I'm glad you and Mike don't really have any serious problems, actually. Yeah. You know Mike in real life, too? Okay. This is awesome. I like that. Yeah, he's like your friend. All right. This is good. I need to know that because in some ways I'm a mark. And if you guys are like, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes behind the scenes, and I see you in the ring going at each other, I don't know that you guys are actually friends. So we're all good. All right. This is good. This is good stuff. That's funny, man. Mike's input saying, I like you knew I like before I knew you, Lex. It's friendly. Okay, good. That's all I want. I make sure there's respect there. Yeah. It makes you say old man Braun. All right, Mobester's back from being timed out. He's saying, I saw a rumor on Twitter, and it was a tweet of a girl who worked for a Duke basketball team, and she was black. JJ Redick at Duke back in 20. All right. We've already debunked this rumor. This came up a couple days ago. Was it you that brought this up? And they said that this story really didn't pan out. I think it was Cool Cat that told us that. Carlos saying, I love how Braun dangled that discount for a third star. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, Clay doesn't want it. And well, I'm going to get the full amount then. Let's see. Cream saying, Lex, was the moon landing real? This is a good question. Now, the thing about the moon landing is Stanley Kubrick was doing some stuff, and some people think that he staged it, but I think it's real. Some people say, well, why haven't we been there since? And why aren't there more videos? Like, well, we have been there since. We brought, rovers up there and drove around. I don't know. In some ways, a lot of people say maybe this is fake. I mean, you can get into 9/11 conspiracies about, how the buildings came down. There's always going to be conspiracy theories. Now, the history is Neil Armstrong put his foot on the moon first of all. I tend to believe that the moon landing was real. And that, because I know at that time in the space race, Kennedy was really trying to beat the Russians. And they really were trying to do some crazy stuff. Now, in some ways, maybe America made up some propaganda to just make it seem like we're beating Russia in the space race. So moon landing, is that slam dunk? I mean, I'm open to either possibility. I cannot definitely say either way for sure. I want to believe that it happened because that's what I was taught in elementary school in the United States. But I'm also open to the suspicion that maybe it was on a Hollywood set and it was just a propaganda tool for the United States against the Russians at that time in the space race. I don't know. I can't tell you definitively for sure. But I want to believe it's true because I did do a project on Neil Armstrong once. All right, there we go. I am trying to suss things out with reasoning and logic, just like Mike. That's right. Blackhawks saying tomorrow, Laker by the end of the week, maybe. If we get what we want, Demar and myself, that's what happens. That's right. That's right. G saying Bronny got 7.9 million for 4 years, according to Bleacher Report. That is messed up. 4 years? There better be some team options on that. Okay, good. There is a team option. Yeah, that's crazy. In some ways, they're going to try and give him what he can get. I mean, that's a standard rookie contract. And so he's only getting 7.9. So he's only making less than 2 million a year. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Let's see. Mike is saying he's 2 years away from being 2 years away, Bruno. Man, did you see Bruno this week, Mike? Oh my gosh. Bruno's looking like Otis Thorpe right now. It's crazy. Let's see. Cornerstone of the development system. Yeah. Moon is boring. There's nothing up there. Why waste money to see nothing? And Mike's also saying it's a rock and dust and craters and nothing else, basically. Even saying, I'm not a Braun fan. I don't idolize any athletes. I respect greatness on all levels. So that's a lie, Mike. All right. I'll let you guys have your own beefs on your own time as friends. And hey, that's cool. I mean, listen, when LeBron retires, I will recognize his greatness. While he's still involved in the league and manipulating things, he may manipulate things after he's done too. See, that's the thing. In some ways, I never really respected Kobe's greatness while he was alive, and I'm kind of sad about that. And I really do now. I really, really do. I was a Kobe hater, just like I was a Bron hater the whole time too. And in some ways, it took his tragic death and then just seeing like how much he meant to everybody for me to get way more respect for Kobe Bryant. Seriously, it's not that I didn't respect him. I saw him as great, but once again, I don't root for the guy who's at the top. I just don't. That's just the way I am. I've always been like that. Blackhawks saying LeBron cut off Bronny's allowance, so Lakers taking over. Yeah, Bronny, you got to go move to El Segundo now because you're not living with us in the compound anymore. So you got to go and live the real life and come up from the bottom. But here's $1.9 million for the first year. There you go. Laugh out loud. Okay, noted. All good, guys. I appreciate you guys today. Feisty stream today. We are over time. But yeah, let me make sure my tabs, I'm not missing anything real quick. Of course, Powder League is going to start. There's a game on Friday for Team MOGBO, but I don't know if Scotty will be at that one. He'll definitely probably be at the one next Wednesday that Team MOGBO will be playing in the finals. Hopefully that is what happens. Yeah, it's Team MOGBO versus Team Egon on Friday at 8:30. I don't think Scotty's in that game exactly. Let's see. Keep track of the qualifiers for the Olympics right now. The teams that get through, some of them will be in the group with us. So we need to be ready to see who that is. Check your WNBA fantasy teams if you are in there. Right now, MK is still the leader. The champion from last year is the leader with 6 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie. And with Kareem and Morgan biting at his heels with 6-1 records. I'm coming back too. I'm almost 500. If I win this week, I'll be back at 500. Thank God. All right. We don't know what Sasha Vezenkov is going to do, but either way, he's not that important that it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things for the Raptors. So that's what I'll say right there. And Blackhawks saying, I'll root for SGA no matter how good he gets. You know, I will do this too. And seriously, like in some ways, like even if he becomes the best player in the league, he's Canadian. And he's also had a harder path to get there. So in some ways, I can really respect that. So in some ways, I can get behind our Canadian guys if somebody does rise up to the top. And that's different. That's a different thing for sure. All right, guys, let's go Raptors. Let's go Team Canada. Let's go Team MOGBO and win Powder League. Let's go, Scotty Pro-Am. All right, I'll be back Thursday Think Tank tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you feel like joining the channel, membership has its privileges. That's right. Temple is making like $3 million, FYI. $3 million for this season. That's not a bad pay. If we're getting a certain amount of politicking and ref favor and respect in general for having Garrett Temple on our team and just a very good resource and mentoring, this is worth the $3 million a year. That is right there. All right, Isaac, I appreciate seeing you there at the end there. All right, let's go.